I guess you probably would like me to see you when I talk to you. Hang on just one second. Oh my gosh, guys. It has been a day and I have a terrible, terrible headache. So we're gonna do the best we can tonight, which is not off to a great start, but it's gonna be fine eventually, right? So guys, we're gonna do the fourth and final class on the Botanical Junk Journal. That should finish it up. All the ephemeras already made, the journal's already constructed and sewn together. We are going to do the topper and any finishing touches. We're going to do some decorating. I'm going to glue in ephemera because I didn't do it already. So I should be finished with my one journal tonight. However, I am making three, so I was working on doing a little bit of collage. I collaged the other two covers on the front side of the cover just a little bit ago, just because collage, for me, it's relaxing. I enjoy it. So anyway, I'm working on it. I'm so working on it. Look, you would be so proud of me. I'm working on it. It's so working on it. I'll drink those here in just a minute. But I don't normally get a headache since I started taking blood pressure medicine for really bad severe migraines. I don't normally get headaches anymore. However, today I do have one. It just I woke up and it was there. I've been trying to get through it, which is one of the reasons why I posted the video of how to make the topper closure for the junk journal, because I wasn't sure at that point. I just wanted to make sure that the content was out there in case I was not able to make it through tonight's video. So the cover topper closure, the elastic, is out there in a video. You can see I'm spinning up there. Anyway, can you guys hear me? I think you guys can hear me. It kind of froze there for a minute. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Maybe you guys can't hear me. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So it's StreamYard that's disconnected. Hang on. StreamYard will have to get caught up and then it needs to go back through the other one. So hang on. It goes to StreamYard and then it goes to the second streaming software and then it gets pulled over here where I can see it. There it goes. So that's all caught up. So it froze for just a minute. In the middle of invoicing on Thursday, it completely froze, like turned my internet off for a few hours. So that was nice while I was trying to get stuff done. Anyway, you'll have to speed up to the end or go out and come back in so that you guys can get caught up for speed. I can also try to do it to catch it up. Hang on just one sec. It's always something. Always, always something. Hold on. And we're going to remove that one. There we go. That should be better. Is it better? Better for everyone? Better for anyone? Let me speed myself up. There we go. All caught up. Okay, so anyway, tonight, fourth and final journal topper closure video is up. It's today's 365 video. So if you guys want to just watch that video and make it good, I have the one that I made for that video. We're going to decorate it and make, you might have to go out and come back in. I have refreshed everything on my side, including going out and coming back in. So just, okay, I see some people better, some people worse, but it is what it is. If you need to go out, come back in, you can make sure that you're on live instead of, like, if it froze for everyone, then you guys will be a couple seconds behind. The video will be a couple seconds behind my voice. If you need to speed it up, if you go to the bottom of the picture window with your finger or your mouse or whatever you're using and put your finger over towards the right side, a red line will appear at the bottom. You want to make sure that the slider is all the way slid to the furthest right and then it says live and there's a red dot next to the live. Came back? Okay, good. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do fourth and final one. The topper video for construction is out there. I may make another one right now tonight with you guys for those of you who haven't seen the video, but I planned on just decorating the one that I made earlier today and making the tag for it. Just basically some finishing touches for these. They're ready to go. The blue ones are also ready to go. It just is a matter of me, plus two of you guys bought journals and I completely forgot about those. So I have a million journals. I have like 6 or 8, I don't know, maybe 10 of them at this point. I guess 10 journals altogether. They all need finished. They all need final touches. For the two of you who purchased journals, are you here? Anyone here who purchased a finished journal from me? Because 2 of you did. And I need to finish those up. And I need to get you guys those shipped because I completely forgot. They're still sitting there. Marcella, did you purchase one? Which did you purchase? The quilt one or the Christmas one? Or are you behind in answering if it's better? Anyway, I need to get that solidified, who bought what, and I need to get those finished. Plus, whenever you buy a journal, see, it's still being weird. When you buy a journal, I make a package of little ephemera things and stuff for you to play with, so I need to make that. So that will probably be this weekend. I was thinking about taking the entire weekend and just finishing journals because they're getting to be where there's unfinished blue ones, there's unfinished botanical, there's unfinished whatever else that's laying around. It is getting to be a lot. So maybe I finish those up this weekend and then I can finally do some flip throughs. Thank you, Marcella. I will get it done for you, I promise. And I need to make a note of that right now. The person who purchased the Christmas one, I'll have to watch the video and find out who did that. Because it was like a craft with me or something. It wasn't a sale night. It was just us hanging out or something. And I guess I showed some journals and some people wanted them. So we did that. For the blue and the botanical, I'll do a flip through and then you guys can claim them that way. It was the quilt journal and it was the medium one, right, Marcella? But I know a lot of us have unfinished projects. I know. But for me, so part of the reason why I needed to get the topper video out there is because if I couldn't do tonight, or I don't know how long I will be able to be here, but if I couldn't do tonight, once I'm here and I'm sitting and we're crafting, I do feel better. And so that's what I'm hoping for. But if I wasn't able to do it, if I didn't do the video, I would just keep falling further and further and further behind. And so that's kind of what happens is if I don't take a moment to force myself to finish it, then I just keep moving on to try to keep up and tread water with what's going on today. Marcella, I can invoice you anytime, but you can take time to pay it too. If you need to wait or whatever, just let me know. And I don't want to, like, your business is your business, but when you get an invoice for something like that where it has been a month and I didn't remember, I'm obviously not gonna be like, oh, you need to pay that right now. So okay, I will rewind and rewatch that video just to make sure. And then I know that the Christmas one, you might have been right about Catherine. I'm gonna have to look. I'll have to rewind and watch. But anyway, there are some people I'm looking for tonight. Just a couple of quick little businessy things, and then we will get to some crafting. For the super sale, I have invoiced everyone that I can invoice except for these people. International people: Kathy, Leilani, Catherine, and Barb. I think Barb may have been invoiced, but not for shipping because I was waiting to hear. So the next people who get invoiced and shipped sometime this weekend will be those international people. And you don't have to ship if you're international, but I will ask you and I will show you a picture of your box or your package and let you know how full it is so that you can determine whether it's a good time for you or not. But for international people, they're next. The only other people other than international people are the following. Anybody with the name Bluebird, I'm still sorting out your order. There was Bluebird Angie and Bluebird somebody else that I still can't remember. I need to separate out your things because some of Bluebird Angie is in some of the other Bluebirds and some of the other Bluebirds is in Bluebird Angie. So I have to rewatch a whole bunch of videos. I have to find the items. It takes a long time. So just give me through till Monday to finish out Bluebird. Both of you, Bluebird. Debbie Kip and Gigi. I am holding your orders because you only ordered one tiny little thing, and it would cost more to ship you the one thing that you ordered than it would be to actually pay for the item. And so I just figured I'd leave it in your tub. You're the only two people who I'm doing that for. Reason is A, you have ordered from me a lot. I know who you are. I know you're good for it. So, it's fine to sit there until you order something else and it can be combined with something else. Because right now, shipping would be as much as the item. I think Jennifer S., you sent me your address, so we're good. Debbie Lipinski. Is there a Debbie Lipinski? Hang on, Kelly. Is there a Debbie Lipinski or something similar to that name? Is there an Amy Geisler or something similar to that name? I know we have a Carrie Geisler, but is there an Amy Geisler? And then a Lori K. I'm looking for Lori K. I'm looking for Carrie Cameron. Carrie Cameron. Tex Judy. Tex Judy. Amy Kreckman. And I may be not pronouncing your name right. I may have not written it down right, but this is what I have. Amy Kreckman. Phyllis Johnson. Darla N. I know you have bought from me before, but I do not know what your real name is. So Darla N. Pam McKinnison or Pam McKinney. Is there a Pam McKinson or Pam McKinney? And a Jody H. All of you people, I do not know who you are, and I do not know who to invoice. Unfortunately, we are at the point where with 200 and something active people who buy every live sale, it's hard to keep track of all these people. I believe are new to me, and I don't have their information to invoice. Amy, done and paid. Okay. Well, you have something else here, Amy. Can you email me, Amy? Can you email me right now so that I can connect the dots with you? Okay, so let me go up to Kelly's question. Just a couple minutes of this, guys, and then I promise we will get crafting. You love the folders. Awesome. Okay. You do get your email. So whatever email to purchase from me, you have to send me an email. Every time I do a live and there are new buyers, I tell them, I put graphics on the screen and I say, you have to send me an email. Whatever email address you emailed me from, that's the email address where your invoice goes to. So when you email me, part of the reason is so I get your email address so I can send your email to your inbox. So if you're looking for an invoice, it has been emailed to you in your inbox. Whatever email you use, you might have to check them all if you have several, but you're okay, Kelly. It's a good question. I have lots of questions. So I got a lot of questions this time about how to pay and all that good kind of stuff. So it's totally fine. I'm happy that you asked the question. So it's in your email, but whatever email you emailed me from, if you went to your sent emails, you might be able to figure out which email address you used or something like that. Subscription invoices have not gone out. Journal kits are not made. I will address that here in a little bit. Lori K. I know, so there may be another Lori K, or it's possible that you still have one item here, Lori. I wrote down your last name next to it with a question mark. But I believe, so send me an email so that you don't have to send me an email. I will email you, or if you're in Facebook Messenger, I can send you a picture of the item or tell you what the item is that's still here, and you can tell me if this item is yours. Sometimes things just get crossed, whatever. There was so many new buyers this time, so I'll tell you what item is here, and you can tell me if the item is yours. Same thing with Amy. I'm pretty sure it's yours, Amy, because I do have your name on it. So I will send you a picture, but it's helpful if you guys email me. That way it's right there at the top. Yes, housekeeping. Thank you, Amy. No, nobody got a subscription invoice. No one got a subscription invoice. These are super sale invoices. And you did pay your invoice, but Lori, there's another item here if you are the Lori K that is written down on that list. Okay, Bluebird. Okay, that helps. I've been sorting. Okay. Anyone who bought Florentine paper, I told you invoices for that do not even get processed until sometime next week. From for forever. Just plan on it. Invoicing for every single sale will be the following week. There is no way to process an order for the amount of things that are being sold currently within the same week. Okay, so it looks like we're all good with housekeeping. Yes, we're all good. If anyone else is, if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know where my invoice is, I didn't get an invoice, you need to reach out to me because chances are I am looking for you, or something got crossed and you still have something here, or I don't know what, but I guess not at that point if you're looking for an invoice. But if you're looking for invoice and you don't have an invoice and you cannot find an invoice, reach out to me and I will send your invoice again to you. I can send it in Facebook Messenger. We can definitely connect those dots. There's quite a few unpaid invoices as well. But like I said, if you guys were patient with me, I would be patient with you. So I'm not stressed about it. We'll all get it worked out. The first order is always the hardest because for new buyers, the first order is always the hardest because you're not sure what to expect. You don't know the time frames of when things happen, whatever. And it doesn't matter if I said it every 10 minutes, half of you would still not be here to listen because that's just the way it works, right? Sometimes you join a live and you're only here for part of it, like you joined late or you leave early or whatever. And so even if I sat here and I said every little bit of this, all the housekeeping every time, still only part of the people would be here to hear it. So it just takes a minute for everything to cycle through and all the new people to get A, put into the computer, which takes time. B, after they get their first order, they're like, oh, okay, I bought it on Tuesday. I get invoiced about a week later. Then I pay my invoice. Then my stuff gets shipped. Then it gets here. It just takes a minute to go through everything. And you're not responsible for remembering everything that you bought. Like, you don't have to make a list. The only people that I'm having the issue with are the people who do not use their real name. When you come and you don't use your real name, and especially when I have two brand new buyers and they're both Bluebird Studio, Bluebird something, Bluebirds, it's very easy to write Bluebird down because you think you only have one new buyer as a Bluebird, and then you find out you have two at the end. So things happen. We are working on solutions now. You guys know if you come and you use a different name, I totally get it. Some of it is business stuff, and that's why you use a different name. Some of it is you like to keep your real identity private, and I totally get that. So now when you come and you're using an alternative name, you are required to give me your real name just while we're doing the live sale so that I can write down your real name instead of all these, like Bluebird Farm or Bluebird Studio or whatever it may be, because your real name is unique to you for the most part, right? So far I do not have any first and last name duplicates. They're getting close, but it's just easier if I have your real name. So after you all get through the first one and I get through the first one with you, I get to know you guys, your names are in my head. It's easy. It's smoother after the first one. The whole half an hour of that is it's smoother after the first one. Okay, so I think we're good. Yes. Well, no, not necessarily. Sometimes yes and sometimes no. If the item does not change the weight, like if it's just one tiny piece of paper or something, then the tracking number stays the same. If the tracking number needs to be changed, you get a second email with the new tracking number in it. Some of you guys, so all of the packages are still sitting here from Wednesday, Thursday. If you paid your invoice from last week or the next shipment day is tomorrow morning. So I forgot to schedule a pickup last night when I went to bed. So there was no pickup for today. The next pickup will be Saturday morning, tomorrow morning. So as long as you pay your invoice, no matter when you got it, As long as you pay your invoice, by the time I get up in the morning, your package will leave here tomorrow. Your tracking numbers are all the same. The tracking numbers are good until I cancel them or whatever, but your tracking number stays the same. You all have tracking information in your email. So as long as you pay it, you get it to leave here in the morning. If it's paid after tomorrow morning, then it will leave here the next time I do shipping. If you are UPS shipping, if your tracking number is a UPS number, it will not go until Monday. I see you, Lori. I see you. Okay. Sexy rag paper. I don't know if we can say that. I guess I just did, right? Okay. So let me flip this camera down and let's get started doing something. All of this stressing is not helping my headache. And thank you guys. So first of all, I owe you huge thank yous. Thank you guys for being patient with me with the invoicing, first of all, because it has been hectic. Thank you guys for being patient with me with figuring out who all the new people are. It bothers me that I don't just know who the new people are, because for forever on this channel, I could tell you who, like, you know, I'd see your name and I would know you. So we just have a lot of new people all at once. And as I said before, the more times I see your name, the more, if I pack 10 packages for you, then obviously your name is just burned in my brain. It's just the way it works, right? So it just takes a while to kind of smooth all of that out. I think using real names will definitely help. And then again, if there was somebody who didn't want to use a real name, we could work that out too. I've toyed around with the idea in my head of, you know, we might have to use like buyer IDs or like a number or something, but that's just very impersonal. And I would much rather see your real first and last name and get to know you that way. But I think we have a good solution for figuring out who's who, is we'll just use real names. And then I think for new buyers in the future, I have worked out a new solution for that too. Let's just make some pretty journals. I haven't blown up. This is a very, very small channel. It's only 11,000 subscribers. It's very, very small, but doing live sales and doing videos every day and all of the other things, the journal kits and everything, it is getting to be, we have talked about it, too much for one person. But you know, we'll get through it. But so anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for the new buyers who are patient with me. Thank you for everyone else who is not a new buyer and who has watched where, so I just want everybody just to take a minute to just think about, if you are a new buyer, it may be a little bit rocky because there's a whole lot going on and I'm super busy and I can't really give you all the attention that you deserve either. But if you're an existing buyer who's been with me maybe since all the way back at the beginning, for you, you're not getting all the attention that you deserve. And both of those issues, new buyers not getting enough attention and existing, you know, old, I don't want to call them old buyers, but the OG buyers, they are not getting enough attention either. And so it is becoming a little bit of a struggle with, you know, I want people to be happy and I want it to be a good experience. And when it's not a good experience, then it, you know, stresses me out. I don't like that. So anyway, it will get better. It will calm down. It's just bumps in the road. I'm learning how to manage things a little better as we grow. I think there's some better technology out there that will definitely help us in the future. So bear with me. We will get through this. Everything will be okay. But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your patience, for all of you, both sides of the aisle, whether it's older buyers who, you know, were here from the beginning, or whether it's newer buyers who are here for the rocky start. Just hang in there, and I promise things will get better and smoother as we go. Classic buyers, something, I know. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, you're fine. You guys would know if I was upset with you, trust me. You guys see when I get very stressed. I'm just human, right? I'm definitely still friends. Oh my gosh. Okay, and I appreciate all of your help. Classic and vintage. Okay, so let me flip the camera down. Let's go ahead and get started before I waste any more time chit-chatting. It's already been long enough, 25 minutes. Okay, so I need to turn some settings down because you guys can't see anything on the desk. Need to turn on that light. Let's see what else we need to do. We need to turn off autofocus and we need to turn down the light. I don't know what has happened without the white mat. The cameras go ridiculously crazy in here now because they're different cameras than what I started with. So this lovely little masterpiece came for Easter. It was here on Easter. And thank you, thank you, thank you. You know who you are. Do you want me to say who you are? So this little lovely card, let me see. Can I show you inside? I could put my finger over it. I'm not really great at it. But look. Oh, I'm terrible at that. It's super cute little Easter card. Look. Super cute. Thank you for the Easter card. This lovely lady has sent me a card for every holiday, and I appreciate it. It is definitely something that makes me smile when I open it up with all of my junk mail and bills, and I'm like, oh, yay, something I can enjoy out of this pile of mail that gets in there. You know how you go to your mailbox and it is just crammed full of junk mail and bills, and it's like I get all my bills and pay them electronically anyway, so I don't know why they still mail me the bill. I guess I need to click something or whatever, but anyway, in all of that is every holiday has been a lovely card. Lovely card. Oh my gosh, super nice, guys. Okay, so this is the journal topper. I have doubled my elastic at this point. So I made this little journal topper, the bingo card. It's scanned from, there's two, there's this one and this one. These are scans from original French antique bingo cards. This is the size that they actually are in real life. And what I did is I put eyelets in and put the elastic through. When I put mine on my journal at the present time, I'm just doubling up this elastic because I don't have ephemera in my journal yet. We're going to have to glue those pockets in and fill those pockets. And then I can adjust the elastic to fit this correctly on the front of the journal. This is the closure. So if I take this rubber band off and I take both of these pieces of elastic and I put them over my journal, it is now a closure and it will keep my journal nice and tight. I am going to put lace down the spine and things like that, but it would keep my journal nice and closed. And I put a pocket back here, and we're going to decorate the front of these. So that's what we can work on first. Then we're going to make a journal card or tag or something to stick in the top of this. And we might actually put the pockets and stuff in first so that I can actually fit this topper and get it on. The pockets are laying in here. They just need glued in. I don't know. But anyway, that's the topper. It's very, very simple, but so, so pretty, guys. So pretty. So the black elastic is linked in the description box of the video if you want the same one. It's from Amazon. You get a big spool of it. But when you do yours, you can do it double like I have here. If you don't do it double, the way that you put the elastic in, it creates this extra little band back here. So you don't even really have to put a pocket on the back of it. You could just tuck something back there. And because it's elastic, one of the reasons why I love this type of closure is because it's elastic. That allows you, see if it's single, I left it really, really big because this journal is going to be fat when I stick stuff in it. But if you double it up, whatever, if you make it fit the right way, if you're using this journal, if this is your journal, everything that you want to keep, like say, okay, I have this whatever and I want to keep it and I want to journal with it, you can just tuck it in there and then it's in there until you want to take it out and journal with it. So you could layer up a bunch of antique papers and stuff that you plan on playing with in the journal behind this. So it's a really nice way of doing a closure and a topper and a pocket and everything else. So why just glue down a topper when we can make the closure and everything all in one? So I think it's a good option. And there are some journals, some styles of journals that you don't want to put like eyelets or something over here. You don't want to put an actual like hitch post or something like that in, or tie seam binding. So for some journals, you want something that wraps around the journal. In the back, it's just like this. I would hide this part where you're going to seal it back behind your journal card. But I did say you need to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac back there too, and I think that's a good idea. Okay, so back to my rubber band, unless we're going to glue these things in. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine having to move. Aww. I hear lots of people unhappy. First thing I'm going to do is glue down this little paper, even though we're going to stick lace over it in a few seconds. I just would rather know that it was glued down. I'm going to give that a minute and then I'll come back. I filled up my glue bottle today and cleaned out the tip, and it was kind of thick glue in the bottom, and then at the top now it's all too runny. So just need a minute. There we go. It needs to start turning to cement before I wipe it. There it goes. Perfect. Okay, so where do you guys want to start tonight? I know you guys want to decorate those. That's why I saved them for you. Look at the other two journal covers. I just did them a few minutes ago. So here's this one, and it's only the front done. The inside has not been collaged yet. I decided to just do the fronts of both of them and let them dry. And then I will come back and do the inside part. So there's the next two. So there will be three. There will be three journals all together in this series. So I need to do another topper. So if, I guess, we want to do that, we can do that. And I think I'm going to do the pockets on the inside of these ones a little different. I think I'll keep this one here. And then on this side, I'm going to do a side pocket. So I'm going to slit this open right here. And it's going to be a giant pocket that you can stick stuff in. So you'll be able to tuck things underneath this topper thing. And you'll have over here on the edge, which I still could do with one of these, but I don't think I'm going to. Over here on the edge, you could slice it and then stick things in it. And these papers do keep coming up. Before I do anything with these, once I get both sides covered, collaged, I am going to take them out and spray them. I did not spray this one. I probably still will before I call it finished, because the spraying is going to help protect it. And I really do think we should do it on these. I don't think you have to, but I think because I sell them and I would hate for somebody to be unhappy if something comes up or whatever. So I'm going to take them out and spray them. Yes, I already have my signature in. I'm just going to spray it anyway. The spraying is very forgiving. It's matte. I've linked it before you. Oh my gosh. I have linked the spray that I use for you guys before. It is an artist's kind of matte spray from Krylon. I don't have it in here. It is linked in a video that I did recently where we sprayed. What did we spray with it? Oh, it's for the topper video. The other topper video. The blue lacy topper. The spray is linked and I show it on camera in that video. So if you go learn how to make like a lacy frilly topper for the blue journals, the spray is linked in that video. Fat journals are definitely my favorite too. Okay, so let me sit down. I'm going to drink this, what is liquid IV, because apparently I am dehydrated. Who knows? We're going to get started. I have some other fun ephemera that I want to make too, but I don't know that we need it for botanical journals. So I kind of wanted to take another look at that too, just the pile of ephemera, if I can get my chair to scoot forward. I want to take a look at the pile of ephemera so that we can see whether or not I even need to make these other projects. I think I want to regardless, but need to drink this quick. Craft. That's funny, Melissa. Okay, so where do you guys want to start? Did anyone answer me the first time I asked? I would have used an original lotto card, but these ones from France, they were very expensive and I didn't want to use the original. I only have like 20 of them or something. 20 seems like a lot, but no. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do something. Let's start gluing in pockets while we're thinking about everything else. Excuse me. Now I'm drinking a whole bunch of vitamin water, or I call them vitamin water. I don't know why my brain can't get this straight. It's not vitamin water. Where is my book weight? I took all of my craft supplies out of this room as well, so I do not have anything in here, which has been super annoying because every time you go to look for something that you used to have in here, it is not in here, and it's making crafting extra fun. So we're going to glue some pockets in without a book weight, which, you know, a book weight is very helpful. I'm being extra cautious with this glue because I filled it and cleaned it, and now it's like very liquidy. I don't know why. Maybe because it's hot here now. I like dotting the top corners, giving them a little extra sticking power. So I'm going to glue these pockets in. Then we can fill it, and then we can decorate that topper. It kind of seems like the normal way you would work in a journal anyway. We need to add lace to some things. There is not a new kit to show you right now. I am seriously debating not even doing kits anymore. I think here's the dilemma. I want to really bad, and I know that I will not be happy if I do not do kits because doing kits makes me make journals. If I didn't do kits, there's no way I could just take this time for myself to make a journal. I'm too busy. I wouldn't have it. So I think we have to do kits, but at the same time, it's a lot of time to make a kit, to plan a kit, to do a kit. Then I'm in here crafting, and like today was a whole work day that I got nothing done other than crafting, which I love to craft, and it's what makes me happy, and it's why I like this hobby. So I don't want to give it up, and I'm not going to give it up, but I still need to figure out how to make it all work. It's becoming very, very difficult, and it's not a you problem, it's a me problem. And so I just need to work that part out. So for this guy, if you made one of these and you're sticking it on as a tuck, you need to make sure that you only glue across the bottom or the side out here. Um, we could hinge it with like washi tape and hinge it so it would flip out. But then we would have this whole page here that's ugly. So I think we're just going to glue it on like a tuck. Because the top opens up on it, you don't want, I'm going to make it a little bit wider bead of glue because you don't want it to come undone. And you can't glue down the top part. So it is a tuck, but it needs more glue. It needs more sticking power. Don't be afraid to use your glue. Some people put like the smallest amount of glue on something. And I'm telling you, the person who's using your journal will be much more happy, even if it's you, with a pocket or a tuck that stays down instead of one that falls off the page or tears off the page, which is the worst thing. Yes, it all can be fixed, but I'd rather just use extra glue now. That's not enough journal making for me. This is too slow for me. This part of the reason why they're not getting finished is because I lose interest. It's not so much I lose interest as I am a fast journal maker. I like to sit down and do a journal in a week, completely, start to finish. The same thing that you see me do here, I like to do it in a week. But the only way I can do it in a week is if I am not doing anything else. And now that I'm doing all of the other things, 1 week is just not going to happen. So this goes here, I guess. I think so. So anyway, 3 or 4 would be way too slow. It would be more irritating and frustrating than anything else. I think we're going to keep going with monthly. I think I need to bear with myself. I need to bear with it and understand that just like it's crazy right now, it will not be crazy like this all the time. This is another one where this is a big, heavy, interactive piece. You're going to want to add some whiter glue to this guy. One little thin thingy of glue on an interactive belly band that pulls out is not going to keep this belly band thing stuck to your page. So make sure you're adding enough glue. I would rather add too much glue than not enough. Again, I think I need more. Anyway, so I don't think we're gonna do anything different. I'm just experiencing a little bit of, I don't know, frustration is not the right word. Frustration with myself that I just can't get it all done. No, I'm still doing kits. I'm still doing them. Nothing has changed for kits. This is just me talking out loud. Thinking out loud. Yes, thinking out loud. Talking out loud makes no sense. This is just me thinking out loud. This is just me working it through in my brain with you all. I know that nothing's going to change because less kits would be too frustrating because this is already too slow. The only thing that makes this work is 365 videos to keep me going every day. So no, I don't want to change it. I'm just experiencing a little bit of, I don't know, stress, I guess. I don't know what it is. I want things to be done, um, I want things to be done smoother and less frustrating for everyone, including myself and the customer. So it's just a matter of working through it until we get help. Once we get help, things will be better. And part of it is, help with lots of different aspects of this. And I think I have a solution worked out in my mind of how all of that's going to happen, and I just need to be patient for it. So we're still doing kits, we're still doing fairy journal. The actually part of the fairy journal is sitting right over there, but I will not show it to you guys until it is done. But so we're still doing monthly kits. However, I think I want to ask you guys, how many of you who bought the kit are here? How many is Growing Pains? I think so, Rhonda. Thank you for phrasing it much nicer than I was. It's just it's actually over 100 kits now, and it's a lot. But how do you keep the kits nice and interesting and cool and with nice interesting old ephemera in them when there's that many kits? It's hard, it's a struggle, because just so you understand, there's a whole side of things that you guys don't see. The stuff has to be found, the stuff has to be sourced, the stuff has to be purchased. You have to spend, it's not like I just pick up the phone and I just say, okay, I want 10 French ledgers and they just magically appear at my doorstep. You have to physically hunt for them in France at the flea markets. So like all of that stuff takes time to find too. And then when you do find it, you probably don't have 100 of them. Like it's just, it is what it is. It's all good. It will all be fine. It's just growing pains. That's a great way of phrasing it. Once I get help, though, things will be much smoother. So this is going to be a tuck, and we're only gluing it on this side. But again, we're going to do a nice wide bit of glue. This is rag paper, and I don't want it to come undone. But we're going to give it a nice wide bead of glue and not be stingy with it. Not putting on so much that it sticks through to the other side of the rag paper, but so I toyed around with like limiting how many kits I can have in a month and just saying no to more people, because at some point that is reality. You can't. Not only physically can you not, like there's not enough time to build more than 100. There's not a way of finding 100 of exactly the same thing or 150 of exactly the same thing. So, it's just stuff I have to figure out. But for now, we'll just struggle through it. And it is one of those things where, as long as you guys are patient with me, I'll be patient with you. We'll all get it done. It will be fine. So as I'm gluing these things on, I'm just checking and making sure that no glue went through to the other side and we're all good and all that kind of stuff. We need to make the card, or I need to find the card for these. I know, right? Just wake up and there it is. I thought about every other month. It's just already slow. Like this one took us a couple months and I think that's why I feel like frustrated that it took so long and that it's not making me happy when they take forever. We need to go through and add a bunch of lace. It's frustrating to work that way for me because that's just not the way that my brain does work. That needs inked around. I guess everything will need inked around, so we can just slide it in there. But it's just, my creative style is a little bit different. We're going to add a page there. So there still is little things to do in here. We're going to add that there. Or were we adding it here? What did I say? Let's add it here. Up, up, and away. That's kind of nice, though. I'm going to add it there. Um, it's all right. I did wake up. I don't know what day it was, and I woke up for me to shop at the flea markets in France. I have to wake up in the middle of the night, so I have to wake up sometimes at like 2 a.m. to be able to shop at the flea markets because our time is very different than their time. And so I was up at 2 a.m. a couple of days ago, and I did spend an astronomical amount of money again for us. But we have something coming that's really amazing. So, I don't mind spending the money if it is truly something that is amazing and old. Um, to me, spending the money is worth it. Kind of like probably the same rationale that you guys do. But spending the money is worth it if it is something that is truly hundreds of years old and nice and, it's different. I don't know. So I did justify it and I spent a lot of money. But it'll be great when it gets here. I unboxed all of those things that were sitting over by the front door the other day. I think I did that last night. I did that last night. That's why I don't feel well today, probably, is because it's a lot. My back is killing me. But anyway, I unboxed all of those boxes that were sitting over there in the entryway and I unpacked all of that and I did take a bunch of pictures and I will share those pictures either Instagram or Facebook or somewhere, I don't know where, but I'll share those pictures. And you guys will see some of that kind of stuff. It's not detailed, like I didn't take, it's not for shopping purposes. It's just for, to look at what is coming or, what it looks like when I unpack all those boxes that were sitting there. So how does this guy work? We didn't hinge him. We could have hinged him right on that page, but we didn't. We did it that way. Okay, we hinged that instead. Let's get him glued on. Anyway, so I took some pictures of that stuff, and there are some amazing things in there. Like, I don't mind spending the bigger amounts of money for things that are, I have things that are 400 and 500 years old in that shipment. And that's pretty old. Like, we don't find 400 and 500-year-old stuff in America because America is not that old of a country, right? But France is. Europe is much older than us. I mean, that's where a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us came from, is from Europe. So, it's older land, older country. They have older documents and records and just all kinds of things. Sorry, was there a question? The French blue. So all of my journals are done. I mean, as far as like, they have all the ephemera made for all of the journals are done. They have the ephemera made. They need some assembly where you glue stuff in like I'm doing now. They need some lace added to the page edges. Very, very basic, quick things, but I just need a whole day to sit there and to do it because it's not just one journal anymore. It's finishing off of, I think there's 10 that need final touches. 10 that need final touches. And then I will be able to do those. But for the botanical one, we have all of the ephemera is made for all three blues. All the ephemera is made for all three botanicals. I'm finishing the covers over there for the botanicals, and then they'll just get sewn in. That stuff to me is the easy part. Constructing the journal is the easy part. This is why people sell like unfinished, undecorated journals, is because you can whip out an unfinished journal in 10 minutes if you wanted to. Like the decorating and making all of the ephemera is the part that takes the longest amount of time. So that's all good there. And then we put this one here. If you guys have a question and I missed it, just holler at me. I'm close to doing all of them, but those final touches, I always just stop. You guys see me because you've watched me make the journals. I stop when it gets to be like, oh, okay, it's done. I don't really have that much work to do in there anymore. And I think, oh, I'll just find an hour here and I'll just finish it. I don't ever find an hour here anymore. There's just literally no time for anything. But it's okay. Sooner or later, we'll get it done. Yes, I always do. Um, mm, yes, I do. Very rarely will I leave a journal unbound and put pockets and stuff on pages. Pretty much never do I glue pockets on pages until it is bound. It is too hard to bind when the pockets and all the ephemera and stuff is in there. It's too thick, pages move around. It's not really a great idea, in my opinion. Everyone has their style. So if that, if you like to do it the other way, more power to you. But for me, I don't like to glue pockets and stuff in when the pages are loose. So it has to be sewn together. Now I will leave it unsewn if I plan on doing stenciling or texture paste or some kind of mixed media thing or something like that. Then sure, I'll leave it unbound while I work on the pages. Like if you're doing backgrounds on pages, if you're working on pages, then sure, leave it unbound. But if you're decorating it by putting pockets in my opinion, it works better to bind it first. Somewhere over here, we need to make something for this, or at least I need to put something in there and slice it open. And then we have this guy here. First of all, this has to go on a very sturdy page. And it could just clip in there, and I think that's what we're going to do with it, is it's just going to clip there. Because I don't want to take away the writing space that is behind it, and somebody else can move it and put it somewhere else. So that one's fine, just clipped in. And we don't have any more laid in here. I did make some more simple pockets to put in here. And remember, my formula was roughly 6 in the front half of the journal and roughly 6 in the back half of the journal. So there's roughly 6 elements here. Now this one does have a lot more big, fun, interactive elements. So it doesn't have to be 6. It just has to feel decorated enough and full. I did make a couple more simple pockets for these journals though. So there is a few more somewhere. And we're going to put that ephemera in this one right now too. You can do it however you want. Just because I say that's how I do it doesn't mean that's the right way or any other way. It's just saying. That's my opinion on it. Sometimes, you know, how should I say this? If I'm not sure, like if I still plan on moving some things around or whatever, I won't sew it in either, but that also means I won't move to putting pockets in until I'm sure of where I want things. You guys saw when I first made this signature, I wasn't happy and I just didn't bind it. I literally stopped and just didn't do it on camera. And then I came back the next video and I redid the signature, and I actually deleted the first video, but I redid the signature and then I sewed it in because I just wasn't happy with it. So I have to be completely happy with each step of it before I move on to the next step. Oh my gosh. I wish I had one day dedicated to my own creativity. You know what I really wish is I wish that I had one day that I could just sit there and make all 7 365 videos. Let me find those simple pockets. right here. So I wish that I had one day that I could just sit down and just 7 videos, boom, 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 boom. And then that part would be done, because that part has been really hard. You guys are also aware of that. That they used to come out at 3 a.m. And starting next week, I do want to get back on that schedule of 3 a.m. And I'm going to do the tool videos next week, which will be helpful because for me, it's the ideas are already there. You just have to do them. One of the struggles is when you are having creator block, or you're just not feeling super crafty to sit down and come up with an idea just out of looking at stuff on your desk when you're already not feeling crafty has been hard. So some days that's why videos come out later. It's because I don't know what I want to make. I have to be inspired by something, or I have to, I don't know, finish working on a million other things before I have time to sit down and craft. So let's count these pockets out. Every time I drink that vitamin water, liquid IV, it makes me want to hiccup. Okay, TMI, I know. There's one pocket here. This is 2 and it stuck together a little. Yes, it did. 2, no big deal. 2, and then we have this guy for 3, 4, 5. So he has 5 plus this is 6 basically, and that is definitely 6. So the front half is good. I think the back half is what we needed work on. So this is 1. This is 2. I love the way this looks. 2. 3, 4. I think that's it. Just 4, nope, 5. So we need to add one more pocket, and it needs to be in between this one and this one, I think. So now I'm just looking and making sure there's no like big chunk of pages without a pocket. They're not too close together. Like I could add one. I have glue stuck to my finger. Doesn't look very good. I could use one right about here. And everything else pretty much has a pocket evenly spaced. So I think we're going to do it back here because this feels like a big chunk with no pockets. So that's where I decide, how I decide where to put pockets. And I love the way that we folded these pages in, because this was a big page, but we folded it in so you can see this eco-dyed paper behind it. But we also folded this one in, and you can kind of see that one. Now I could fold it the other way, but that would kind of take away from this side. So I think we're going to leave it. But just see how folding, something as simple as where you fold your large pages makes a big difference. So folding is important. Let's see where we're going to stick these pockets. I said I didn't want to cover this up. I mean, it's fine there, but I said I didn't want to cover it. Well, I for sure can't stick one there because it's too close to the other one. If I do that, it covers up all the pretty Edith Holden. That's okay. You can still see the Edith Holden. You're not really losing anything except for that little purple flower. So that's okay. But if we do that, I'm counting pages. This one is really the one that needs the pocket. And I like the color combination with her. So I think she's going to go there. This is kind of like a sepia tone. So is this. So I think we're going to put her there. And there's 2 pretty much exactly the same. There's also this one. And there's 2 of those. These were my quick and easy little pockets. And then there's this one, but she has green in her. So I definitely think we're going to use the first one, and we're going to glue that one on. It's already inked around. I'll just give it a little roll and straighten it out a little bit, and we'll get it glued on. And that's our last pocket for this journal. Then we're going to go through and fill them. Fill these pockets. And then we're going to stick that topper on and decorate it. Or stick some lace on, one or the other. I think we need lace next. because most of these little pockets that I put at the bottom of the pages, they need lace at the bottom. And for this journal, I don't want to use like your traditional, I don't want to use this. I don't want to use frilly lace. I want to use more natural looking lace. It does look good there. See, sometimes it just, it decorates itself. You don't even have to think about it. It looks like, Terry, how do you get signed up for the kits? When I have a kit available, I'll sell it in the live sales on Tuesday. So every Tuesday I have a live sale. I sell all kinds, everything that you see in here pretty much is what I sell. The documents, the ephemera, whatever. I get the stuff from France, like I already said, but on Tuesdays I have live sale. This coming Tuesday, there will be a kit. I may not have made 100 of them by then, but this coming Tuesday, there will be a kit and it will be sold in the live sale. So if you are not a subscriber, you'll need to be at that live sale on Tuesday when I sell it to purchase it, because it will not be offered anywhere else again, as far as I know. Occasionally when I sell them, people don't pay for it or whatever, so then there might be a few left at some later week or something. But for the most part, they get paid for and they go when they're sold right there. There is one of these botanical kits still sitting here because I held one back and I believe it was claimed or it needs to go to somebody, but I don't know. But anyway, there's one of those left. Tuesday, yep, truth. So there is still one of these kits that will be sold or go to somebody. It's still sitting here. It's the one I think I showed you guys in the beginning or whatever. It's here. I usually hang on to one just in case something happens. But anyway, there's those. Let's get some ephemera going. I brought in these two. Okay, so these I did not make. I bought these a long time ago, like years and years ago. And I don't remember what Etsy they're from, but they're from some Etsy that Gail recommended. And I love the tissue paper. We're going to make some when we do our sewing journals, but these are sewing pattern paper that has lace down it. I mean, we're probably going to make some of this in 365 videos too, but anyway, there's a couple journal cards and they're botanical in nature, but you can see they're not really my style. And I need to take these flowers off and kind of rework. So this stuff all needs reworked for me to use it in here. But I did want to show you guys, because I think one of the craft with me's or whatever we're going to do is me reworking a bunch of ephemera that maybe you made some ephemera and you had it for a long time and it's not really your style anymore. So I think we should do some videos on how to rework some of this ephemera that, it's not quite the right style. It's not quite your style. Maybe you got it in a Happy Mail or a gift or something. And, it's a super nice gift, but you also need to be able to use it, right? And so these I think are fine. I think we could even use these in this journal, but some of this stuff does need to be reworked. So there's some things I found in my stash, and this was in the bin with the paint chips, and that's why I found it. So we will do a video where we rework some of this, or I will tonight or whatever, but at some point we'll have to get these in a journal. Gail Augustinelli, Jane. It's Augustinelli. Do you count belly bands and simple tucks? If I glued it in, yes. Belly bands for sure. If I glued it in, it is something. Yes, it's a pocket. So this is a tuck, but it's also a pocket. I don't usually just stick a piece of paper over here and call it that. Like, I wouldn't call just a tuck. If it was simple, no. But if it's a tuck like this, then yes. Like this is a tuck, but it's also a scrappy pad of paper. Like it comes out and it's a scrappy pad of paper. So yes, this is a tuck, but yes, I counted it as one also. These are super fun to get back in sometimes, but we did it pretty good there. So it depends on the tuck, I guess. Reworking? Yes, I think so. You're okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Karen. I was about ready to type. Yes, and she shares my stuff sometimes too. I've known Gail for a very long time. Okay, so let's talk about ephemera. Oh, we had these simple pockets too. I made a bunch of stuff. See, I think we have so much ephemera that I probably don't need to stress about it. But remember when I made these just a few days ago? For a couple of them, these two, this little tag with these little birds, it's kind of like the perfect set. So one of these times when we find a pocket, we need a pocket somewhere, we're going to add this together like this. I love it. I think it's beautiful. Yes, I still need to poke the holes out, but whatever. I didn't have a hole puncher in here that day. And I think the colors for this combination also go nice together. So I think when you're working with your Edith Holden, kind of maybe marry them up and make them little sets like this. I love that idea. I forgot about them or I would have stuck that in here. Although where we did find that pocket was fine. Okay, going through ephemera. Let's just turn to a page and let's just find something and stick it in there. We have this gigantic pocket right here, and it has, this is from the original envelope. So if you weren't here in the beginning, this journal kit showed you how to make a journal cover out of a shipping envelope, a mailing envelope, a big, you know, like catalog kind of mailing envelope. The journal kit before this, we made a journal that had velvet on it and it was super lacy and frilly and whatever. So as we work through, the journal kits are all different themes, and part of the experience of the journal kit is making different styles of journals, not themes, but styles of covers, styles of, you know, at some point we'll do a different way of binding a journal or something. I don't know, but I do try to make them different so it's not like same all the time. Anyway, so this pocket right here is the original envelope for the original plastic, how should I say it? The original window of the envelope. Let's find a tag and stick it in there. Oh my gosh. Sometimes filming with a headache is just really a terrible idea. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, looking for just a simple tag. All of my pockets are up here in the front. You guys probably want to see this process. I mean, not that you were all here for all of it anyway. But this is the bin of ephemera just for these three journals. And there is more, but it wouldn't fit in here. So these are those little clusters we made the other day. On Monday-ish, we might make those, the video for that. Although I want to do the tools, so we'll see. But this one needs to get used soon because I want to use them in this journal. Anyway, I need a decorative tag. These are all pockets up in this section, or tucks, or whatever. We have already sorted it. This, there's 3 of these. Why is there 3 of these still? This needed glued in. I can't have 3 of anything left. Oh, we were going to clip this in. Okay. I make 3 of everything because I make 3 journals. This journal should have this in it already. So we need to pull one, and we need to make sure it goes in there somewhere. So I guess I'm going to have 7 pockets somewhere. Makes no sense to anyone but me. Anyway, we're looking for a tag that goes in here. So I've got journal cards, and I've got those tags. And if we need to make it, then we'll just wait and make it later. There's 3 of these also. So one of those needs to go. We made one the other day that I probably didn't need to make. That could go in there. It could, but it doesn't have a real focal point. Like, I want you to be able to see like something big through there. It's too small. I have little clusters, different kinds of tags. These are different kinds of tags. I need to make something apparently. All of the stuff. Maybe one of those. I mean, I could put like, I could put some glue or something to stop it, or a pull on the outside of it, because it's just barely too small for this little pocket. Anyway, we'll keep looking. I've got other little tucks down here and other big interactive elements that go in a pocket. And then we get to this. this is a piece of masterboard. This is a piece of masterboard. It would definitely be the right size. We could decorate that quick, or I have these, but these I believe are too long. Yes. Okay. So it looks like we'll be decorating some masterboard. And I also have some of these that are unfinished. Too small, too small. Okay. Well, let's decorate a masterboard thingy and make that into a tag. Because this guy can't go in there. Nope. Okay. And these guys can't go in there either. They are too small. Okay. I was really hoping to not have to make it, but okay. Okay, let's make it. So guys, I get to recommend other channels, but you guys don't get to recommend other channels in my live stream. Just please keep in mind that when you're here and you're chatting with other people, you are chatting on my business chat for this live. It's not an open chat on Facebook. It's not an open chat on YouTube. It's a chat that is tied to and connected to my live stream for my business and for my lives. And while I don't have a problem recommending people that I know and I trust and I work with, it's not really appropriate to come in here and to recommend other channels that haven't been mentioned and that I'm not recommending. And I hope that you guys can understand that. First of all, some of those channels, not the ones specifically that you guys are talking about, but some of those channels, they have not been kind to me and I do not recommend them. Not the ones you guys are talking about. But another thing to keep in mind is, if I just went to their place and I was like, "Oh, come over and watch my stuff," it wouldn't really be appropriate. So just make sure that when you guys are chatting, that you keep in mind that this live stream is about this crafting and what we're doing here. And while I didn't even recommend, I just said Gail Augustinelli, and then we made sure we got her name right. Other than that, let's just try to refrain from recommending and putting links and names and things, advertising for other channels when those channels do not advertise for me, first of all. There's no reason to bring them up during a stream where someone else is actively donating their time to show you guys how to do things. It's just kind of not appropriate to come from that side. If I recommended them, it would be one thing. Okay, let's decorate this guy up and get this done. We need a focal point for him for sure. He already has a beautiful background. I did print some focal points. Let me sneak up here, and sorry for my skin. I am super sunburned peely. I am fair skinned, and when I get sun, I peel. So now my arms are peely. It would be lovely to have, some kind of definite focal point. The mushrooms aren't bad, but I would really like to have a person, except for the person would have to be sideways, wouldn't they, to go into there. Okay. That's okay. You could ask who Gail was because I brought Gail up. That's totally fine. It's all the other recommendations when I didn't bring them up. That's appropriate. That's not appropriate. Oh my gosh. Now I'm getting tongue tied. Let's get this guy done. How about we throw some of these tickets down here? I like these orange color with the orange botanical paper that we have there. It is, Mrs. E, it is. Now, I'm sure that that's not what people were planning on or whatever here. I get it. I totally do. Especially, so here's what really irritates me is some of the people making recommendations at some point. I'm not talking about specifics about tonight, but some people, they're never here during a live sale. They're never here at any other point in time. But when they see someone is live, they click on the live and then their whole oh, I'm going to recommend this channel and whatever. It's like you're not even supporting the original channel. You don't participate in anything else, but yet you're here recommending that the viewers watching the channel, like my channel, you're recommending they go somewhere else and watch someone else. I think you guys can understand why that would not be appropriate. Anyway, it's all right. It's totally fine. Totally fine. We're good. We're good. Okay. Let's just keep going. I need focal points. We're going to layer up some of these tickets, not the whole strip, but we're going to layer up some of those. This one also would have been a good color though. Now I want that one. Okay, well, we're going to use them both. So I'm going to layer up tickets, and then I'm more than likely putting a mushroom back there just because it's the right size. I want a person. I need to add more people, more faces to this journal. So if I make any other ephemera, it does need to be where it has someone's face on it. You know, the other tool that I don't even have in here is a paper trimmer. I took the other one out because it just makes me mad. And I still have not brought the other one in. I tried one day, but it was too big and it doesn't fit on camera. It's not a on camera kind of a paper cutter. Oh my gosh. Okay. So for mushrooms, I have these super big ones. And I printed them 2 to a page to make them smaller. So we will just do a quick little mushroom tag. Quick little mushroom tag. I need to put these somewhere. I have no place to put anything. Quick little mushroom. We'll figure out which one of these tickets we're going to use here in a minute. And let's get a mushroom cut out. I really like this guy, but I also like this brown one. Let's cut out a mushroom. The mushrooms and the tickets, you guys know, are digitals in the Etsy. If you want them, they're there. We're going to use this guy. The clusters we're making a specific project with. Yes, you can decorate the pages and ephemera and stuff with them, but we are going to make a specific project where you need, or at least I'm using, the little postage stamp size clusters. So it's a tiny little project. And I know some of you guys, you have told me that you cannot do the tiny projects. You need to make them larger, etc. That's totally fine. I get it. There's days where my arthritis is bad and I can't really come in here until, later in the day when my hands decide that they would like to move again without so much stiffness and pain. So I get it. You can always make the project that I'm making and just make it on a different scale where it is larger, but I want to do a special little thing with them. And now it's just tight. I wanted to leave time for people to get their stamps and make their clusters before I moved on without you guys too. So we'll get them this week at some point. We'll make that other project. Plus I'm waiting on something from Amazon. I mean, I have some, but I don't want to use all of what I have. I want to have a few more. Okay, there's some mushrooms. I need to cut out this little white bit right here. Even cutting this today is difficult. I think it's just I've overused my hands and now they're crabby. They're stiff. Okay, there's that. Let's get some ink done. I just want to blend out some of that little bit of white that's around there. I don't want to heavily ink it, just some. And then we will ink up in this area where I cut. I think we're good. Okay, let's get these guys on. We probably need like a little music paper. Well, there is music here though. We need a little something. I would really love to not cover that up. Let's see how I can accomplish that. I don't have a hole puncher in here. Dang it. I need to punch out these holes real quick. Let's cut this one. Let's cut the bottom one. And let's ink these guys. It's not ideal, but I don't have a hole puncher in here. I can kind of hide them behind the tips of the mushroom. So I really like that. That looks good to me. And then I don't want to cover up that, so I'm going to scooch it up just a tiny little bit. We're going to do something like this. I don't think I want it centered. I don't know. Maybe I do. And then we might get a little tiny label or number down there. And then we're going to call that good. Okay. Gluing. I have everything but what I need in front of me. A list of people. Everything else. What is it? You have to enable double-sided printing in your printer settings in your computer. The printer, you can turn it on in the printer, but for my printer, you have to enable it in the settings of the computer. And not all printers can print double-sided, so first of all, you need to make sure that your printer can print double-sided. And second of all, you need to make sure that your printer settings in your computer have double-sided printing enabled. I need to be very specific with my placement of this. So enable it, and then, well, first of all, make sure that you can, then enable it, then give it a try. Did you guys enable it? So when you go to print, like my computer has multiple print programs. Depending on which way, like if you right click and then print, or if you open the image up and then hit the printer icon, those are two different printing programs, and each one of them has their own little settings. So you need to check a couple of different things to make sure that your printer can actually do. I went over just a little bit. Can actually do borderless. I'm being fussy with it because I'm purposely trying to cover up those little holes in the tickets that I don't have a punch for. I mean, I have it, but it's not in here. Okay, there we go. There's that. Simple enough. A little tag in this area would be great. Even a little postage stamp up here if we really wanted to keep going. Let's see what he looks like in here. Kind of, sort of, maybe. There we go. So he sticks out a little bit, and I'm going to have to cut off my favorite part. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. So, sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. This is going to be a nice little tag charm, though. I still got to keep that much of it. Now we're good. Pocket is a little bit finicky. We're good. So I'm going to add a little tab to the top of him just to make him pulling in and out easier. This is super firm up here. It's got so many layers of paper on top of a shipping envelope that I want to put a tab on the top of him. And I used to have a little piece of paper in here. I think I took it out, but I used to have one that had the Florentine paper already glued on it for a tab. So we'll do that. But anyway, that can go in there. We'll just let that sit for now. This is what we ended up with. Yes, you still could put a little number or stamp or something here, but he's just going to get a tab put on the top of him and he'll go in there. So at least we figured that out. It's made, it's done. This guy here needs something small. I will save this for a tag charm. For number, so, okay. Number of pages to put into a journal, like how I count them to make up a signature, or number of pages when you go to list a journal for sale on Etsy, because those are two different things. Okay. Well, hello, hello. Misunderstood, hello. Um, this works just like this, basically. We're just finishing up this journal. So I need a small little journal card or journal tag or something to go in that little pocket. This little glassine bag right here. This little purple guy can go in there maybe because there's purple over there. It's a little bit too big. I need to soften it. It's a little too stiff. But the total count of pages. The total count of pages to list it in Etsy. You're going to count. So think of it like a book that you read. Like, you know, there's page numbers on the page number section. There's page numbers. I have a headache. There's page numbers at the top of every page. In a normal book, this isn't one page, right? Because it's got a number here, but it also has a number back here. So when you go to sell your journals, people want to know how many sides of a page there are to journal on. So this is one side of this page. This is the number 2 side of this page. So normally when somebody says there's 120 pages in my journal, they're counting both sides of every paper. So they're counting this side and then they're counting this side. So this would be 1, this would be 2, that would be 3, this would be 4. Normally they're asking about how many sides, how many pages. It's the same thing. When we say pages in America, it's very different than the rest of the world. To me, this is one sheet. It's one sheet of paper. It's one sheet. It is 2 pages because there's page numbers that say 2 different numbers, right? If you think of it that way, I think it helps. So pages, sheets, sides, they're all confusing things. Just make sure that if you're listing it in Etsy, you say it has X amount of pages, maybe double-sided. You can phrase it however you want to phrase it, I guess. But to me, the count is both sides of the page. So if I was counting all of these pages, I would say there's 1 page, there's 2 page, there's 3 page, there's 4 page. But you also could say there's X amount of, like, this is 1 page, 1 page. You could say there's 2 pages, but 4 sides to journal on. You could phrase it that way, which is a lot more clear. So I think I'm going to put this little journal card in here. It kind of goes. It does have Edith Holden in the background, so I think we're going to put that there. It's already got copy dyed paper on the back of it, so we're good. Now we're to this guy. He needs a tag. I have a little mushroom tag that could go in there, but let's see what else there is. They have handwriting next to it. Let's do this instead. This one is that one that opens out for journaling space, and we're gonna tuck it in there. So there's that. And then we need something large that tucks right there. We have these large journaling cards. Let's do this one. I like the blue with the blue over here, the blue and the butterfly. So this is a large journaling card. You notice that I'm not stopping to ink every single thing as I go. I don't ink it when I make it. I mean, if I happen to, fine, but the back side of things, the last thing I do to a journal is go through and pull every single thing out and make sure that everything is inked. So I will save all that inking for one time because it is much faster to just sit here and ink everything all at once than it is to ink each individual thing as you make it. So there's a large little journal card. I do have a headache. My goodness, it's terrible today. This is a large journal card, and it's going to tuck in there. I might tuck something else in, but for now, that's good. This guy here, he needs something big for behind the belly band. Let's see what we have. Where did this guy come from? Need to put everything back and keep it organized. Right there. Okay. So we need something large back there. Do I have something large that we're going to tuck back there? I have a larger mushroom tag, but he kind of gets lost back there. It really needs a large journal card. And didn't I say I was going to make some large journal cards? I don't remember now. But he needs a large journal card. And so when you're doing this part, it's nice to have a little piece of paper and just to write down, absolutely not to that retreat, Wendy. That, if it's the retreat I think you're thinking of, or I think you're asking about, absolutely not. Those people can never be mentioned on this channel. That is a strong, hard no. In fact, I have nothing nice to say about any of those people. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get a mouthful for that one. Oh my. Those people are connected with the bad person, and those people have done horrendous things to me. Horrendous. Such as agreeing to do a collaboration where I sent them all of the stuff for the collaboration and for giveaways for their channel. I sent them huge, nice packages of French goodies. They took the French goodies, they took the stuff, they were supposed to do a collaboration with this channel, and then decided, nope, we're just going to keep all the stuff and we're not going to do collaboration with you because of somebody that used to be here. So no. I got slots to say about that one. This guy would be great, except for the tab for him goes the other way. Man, today is just not my favorite day. There's a whole history there and a whole lot more I could say, but I'm just not going to. I need a large journal card for this one. The rest of this, I really do not have problems with people, but in connection to that one girl who was here, I do. Unfortunately, are we just going to get into it? Are we going to? The person who used to be here on this channel threatened me that those people would no longer be my friends, and then they proceeded to not be. So let's just leave it at that and we'll just move on. I think we're going to make a little tag for this guy. Unless I have a little simple tag we can put in there. Oh my gosh. Not my favorite day. If I could rework one of these journal cards, it might be able to tuck back there. No, it's still a little too small. What else do I have to tuck back there? This is a floating pocket thing. There's just some days. I'm looking through the bin of ephemera each and every time to try to find something to stick back there or stick in the pocket. I do have a little tag like this. Will this fit in there? A little guy. We'll fit in there. We can leave him in there. So that's the envelope part. And then on this side, we need something for this one. In fact, I think this would fit better here. So let's fit that there. It's all right. I advertised for that retreat at one point when we were friends, and so it's fine. No, they were very, very mean to me. It wasn't just what I said. It was a lot more than what I've just told you, and they were very, very mean to me. Anyway, I'm going to put this here. We're going to have another tag on that. This is too wide. This is what happens when you bring a moderator on your channel and all they do is like cause problems and whatever. It just leaves lasting issues. One of these would be good too, but these are a little skinny. I need to keep those out though. Oh my gosh. that group of people, I'm telling you, they still to this day are causing problems. I have been telling you guys that there's two certain peoples that just continually cause problems. Basically, they bully me online, and I'm an adult woman, so I deal with it, but it is what it is. Okay, so we put this guy back here, and I think he fits better. And we put that one there, and both of those need a little flattening, but I don't have a large journal card for this side, so we'll have to keep looking for that. I have these cute little guys. It's all right. Okay, moving on. It's people that I let go for too long. I should have stuck up for myself for a long time before this. It's okay. I should have known better. This guy would fit in here, but we just stuck some mushroom stuff back here. It's not really mushroom in your face. For now, let me stick this guy in here. He's got mushrooms in his pocket though too. Let's leave him there for now while I continue to look for something else. What about this guy? Just so it's not like mushroom and mushroom. Let's do that. I don't love that either. I might come back to this pocket and play with it in a little bit. We do need something tucked back here. Maybe we tuck that big tag back there. He works back there. He's super large. He's like 8.5 inches by himself. I'm wondering if I will like this one better. I think I do. Don't cover up my stamps as much, and I have more of the flower showing. It's hard. Like, everyone wants something different when they come here, right? And most people just come here and they hang out and they're nice and they craft and it's all good. But then some people want something different when they come here. And it's those people that I have a problem with. Okay, we have these paint chips too, and I don't want to forget to add one of those. Those little decorative paint chips. This guy was meant to go on a page and be a flip out. This guy goes sideways like this. That's right. He's a belly band. Okay. Let's save him. I have some interactive pieces. It's hard for me at this point to even remember what went where and what we were supposed to do, but I need to stick something in this pocket. We already used one of those. I have big interactive elements like this. This guy here, he opens up and flips out, and he's all full of ephemera. He could certainly tuck in there. That's why I'm saying this journal is going to be very full. There's a glassine bag journal that's a complete little mini journal inside of it, and that could tuck in there. It's just really chunky. And then there's this guy, which is an ephemera wallet that kind of folds out. All of this stuff was made on camera. So these things definitely need to go in a pocket. But if you stick them in there, that's really gonna fluff this monkey up. Fluff this, I've never said that before in my life. It's going to chunk him out. I don't know what to say about it. Maybe we stick that in there. Let's stick that in there for now. We were struggling to find a place for it anyway. This guy has a journal card inside of him. We're going to leave that. This lace goes on that pocket. The green paint chip, they're just embossed paint chips. And when you emboss them, because the white paper like pokes through, it cracks a little. I don't know. It works great. But you can sand them if it doesn't just come out that way. Could have had a little matching set. If it would have been a bigger pocket, you could have had a little matching set. That would have been cute. Okay, so those go back in because I don't know where they go yet. We have this little guy. Not my favorite. We won't put him in there. I have a little weekly time record. Maybe we do something like that in there. A couple of little things. The weekly time record unfolds and it has stuff in all the pockets. Little tags and whatever in the pockets. I'm sorry, Wendy, that was not an appropriate reaction. It just caught me off guard. And now I'm thinking about it. That was not an appropriate reaction. I do apologize. Okay. So that all has stuff in it, but again, we need something really large back here. Let's stick. Okay. Looking for a larger journaling card. Okay, so I know what I want to put there. We're going to make it. I have some things behind me. This, again, needs a large tag. We used a journal card like that already. We don't have mushrooms in this one. I think I would like to stick this guy in here. And he has a tag that pulls out of him like sideways like this. I think I'd like to stick that in there. I like the brown colors altogether. I know, it's fine. I just need to forget that those people ever existed, basically. It's okay. All right, we have this one here. So this one has a lot of brown tones in it. Did we add? There's so many interactive things. I hesitate to add one of these, but they need to go somewhere. I made too many interactive elements, guys. I have a little tag that kind of stays with that brown theme. Let's see what else we can find to put in there. There's a bookmark that needs to go in here. There's a bookmark somewhere that needs to go because there's 3 of those. I still need to put a little altered playing card in here somewhere. And we didn't use any of these tags yet. You guys cannot see them, but there's some tags over here that we didn't use yet. So again, they have an interactive element in them too. There's a little journal card that pulls out of the little pocket. So we used a tag from the Tag Digital in my Etsy to put a tag on top of a tag with a little journal card. And I like the fact that these are kind of coordinating. So we're going to stick both of those in there. Cute. I like it. Moving on. Then we come to this. I didn't cut this guy open yet, so let's cut him open across the top. I'm going to take an angle and a snip. And we'll take those off. And now our bag is open across the top. I generally like to do the little angle. It just helps get things in and out when it's more open up here at the top. Now this bag was, it was gusseted. So there's a little gusset right here. I think I'm going to take this gusset off. We do not need it. And now we just have our bag open. And for this bag, we have these red poppies back here. Let's see if there is another little journal card or tag or something. I mean, I have these. They're super cute. I really want to stick one down on a page. These are the altered playing cards. So I need to stick one of those in here. Maybe on one of the coffee dyed pages, we could get one of those in. Okay. Still looking. We need a journal, a little tag. There's this guy, and he's got a belly band and a little journal tag. I don't know if he will fit in there appropriately. No, his little tag gets caught. Set him off to the side. I don't really want it to compete with these puppies back here. I mean, it's fine. It's there. It's the right size. It's just maybe not my favorite decoration for that space. Still looking. I have so much ephemera in here. I think we used one of those. Okay. Well, for now, we're going to leave that in there. You know what, though? We're not. We're not, because I have this. So this needs decorated. We can still decorate it. I'm actually going to take that snip off that top piece right there. It just is bothering me that you can't see which part to open. So at least now one of the sides, the front side, is shorter. It's smaller, so you can see how to open that bag. So I think we're going to put a little tab on the top of that. And I want to do this one here because it's Edith Holden writing. So I think a little flower or something there would be cute. And then we'll put a tab at the top to help get it in and out. So that just needs decorated. No big deal. It's already made. It's coffee dyed paper on the back. We're good. This, I'm not going to do anything more here other than finish off and decorate these journal cards and stuff that are in here. But that's the last page. So every pocket has something in it. It's just a matter of a couple of them need finishing. This one, I would like to have something else back there, or stencil. What I really would like to do is stencil back here behind this page. It's writing space, so just a little stencil would be nice there. Flower stencil, and some kind of light shade of something back there. Cream or like antique linen or something like that would be good. Let's do this bookmark somewhere because he needs to go in there. And then I do have one other thing that needs to go in, and we need to make this back panel. Remember, there's a big pocket up here, and it needs something put in it. It could be a super giant notepad or something. That was what I was planning, is a big notepad where you slide the notepad base down in the pocket, and then you have a bunch of pages to flip and play with. The pages are just going to be things that you can tear off and decorate or write on. So you could actually use the notepad to finish off this journal. But we need to find a place for this. This is an over the page bookmark, and it also has writing space in it. And I feel like it needs to go in the back here somewhere. So let's slide it there for now. It's cute. I think that's the right place for it, because everything else pretty much has a pocket or is another decorative paper. So I like it back there. We'll leave it there. So it goes on the page like this, and then that's the other side. I think I'm good with that. And you take it off and you can write on it. Plus, when the person is working in their journal, they can move the bookmark to use it as a bookmark. So that's kind of the point of that. Anyway, we're done here, except this is the only fat item I put in. So I just put that there. I would really like to get one of these three in this journal because they're fat and they need to go in something. So I'd really like to get one of them in there. Let's play with this pocket one more time. And I think for this pocket, this was what I wanted in there. I'm going to do that. And then this guy is going to get clipped on a page. And we will save these two for the other two journals. It's okay. It's something that can be removed. So you can make things as fat as you want, as long as it can be taken out of a journal. You can literally make it chunky if you want to, as long as someone can pull it out of the journal you might have to take it out of the journal to get your journal to close. Like this is fine. This is really actually pretty good so far, especially because there is a clip in there. But it's fine right now. Even if I would have even if I would have stuck something else in there, it would be good. I do have this piece, and I'm gonna try to find a home for it. Even that could tuck back there, and then this little tag. There was another place where I was looking for something tall, and I said we would come back and make it. Now I don't have to make it, and that actually works really nicely with that page. So I'm good there. That was happy. I like that too, because there's blue here and blue here. I think we're good. So I have these extra things. Let's go through and add lace to this guy. So the only lace that he has currently is the lace that I'm going to glue here. And see how I'm using the cotton, the more natural looking lace for pockets and things. I did do writing boards, bingo card writing board so far. We will do more writing boards as we move through. We're going to do cabinet card writing boards and other things like that. But anyway, this kind of lace is the lace I'm using. The only other lace I put in was that lace on this pocket. Again, it's very natural. I'm using the ecru color or the ivory color, nothing white and nothing frilly. I don't want my botanical journal is not supposed to be lacy, Frenchy, frilly. It's Frenchy, but it's not lacy and it's not frilly. Anyway, let's add some lace to these guys. As I'm going through it this last time, we can see if there is anything else that is needed. I do have a gigantic bin of ephemera still, and I'm pretty sure there is ephemera somewhere else because I don't see everything that we made yet either. But just adding this guy needs tucked in there pretty good. So after I add this ephemera, tonight when I go to sleep, when I'm done working in this journal, this is really important. So I want to make sure everybody hears this. When you make a journal and you sew the signature in, your spine of your journal is okay having that, just pages in it. It's fine. But when you add all of your pockets and you add all of the ephemera in the pockets, it's really important to take that journal after you add it all. When you finally got it full, take that journal and put it together like this, and then take a bunch of rubber bands. I'm going to do this later when I'm done, but for now, take a bunch of rubber bands and rubber band this guy up as much as you can. Rubber band him as tight as you can. Just hundreds of rubber bands, not really hundreds, but at least a dozen rubber bands. And get it as tight as you can. Like, make sure if it's got space to do a double, do a double. But put rubber bands all over it and let it stay closed with all those rubber bands for as long as you can. If it's just overnight, then it's overnight. If you're not coming back to this journal for a week, leave it rubber banded. The rubber banding process is what flattens all of your ephemera and rounds out that cover and makes your journal feel so nice in the hand. It's what makes a journal feel good to hold, and it gets it all closed and shaped correctly. Now, if you have a clip, like I have a clip tucking in here, you're going to want to take that clip out just while you rubber band it. You can put that clip back on when you're done. But the rubber banding process for every journal that you make is that nice shape of a journal. And the other thing to do is when you're done doing the rubber bands and you're ready to work on it again, whatever, it's ready to go to its new home if you're selling it, whatever. When you take those rubber bands off the journal, you want to open up your journal and you want to find that middle section and you want to flatten out your journal and make sure that your spine, flex it like this. Make sure that your spine allows for your journal to lay open. It needs to be able to lay open so that someone can journal in it and someone can work in it. You shouldn't ship someone a journal if it won't even open and lay flat. So once the journal is built, you can do it like this. It's totally fine. It's not hurting anything. It's stretching out that spine and everything that you put in there so that your journal will lay open. It's not really, like nobody wants to get a journal that they can't even open and work in. Now, if there's something big and thick that you need to pull out, like, if I stuck something very thick and dimensional in here, you could pull it out and then see if it will lay open. But the journal needs to lay open. So I take it in a couple of sections and I flex it after it's been rubber banded and make sure that that journal can still stay, stay flat relatively, right? Like this part is laying flat. This has all that stuff in it. So you get what I mean though. In the center, it should lay open nicely for someone to work in. And you might have to do it a couple of times. But after you rubber banded it, all of that ephemera is going to be much flatter in the pockets. It's basically just pressing everything in its forever home. And then the journal lays nice and flat and somebody can actually get it and work in it. You should try it, but please hear me on this too. Do not put fresh bunches of glue in it and then rubber band it shut. Your stuff does need to be dry. Your glue does need to be dry before you rubber band it. Don't put fresh glue in there and then rubber band it and then it's like, super sticky. I glued some pockets in, but that was a long time ago. Other than that, I haven't added any glue. I'm going to glue my lace in now, but my lace is fine. I'm going to make sure that's dry before I rubber band it tonight. So anyway, the rubber banding process really does make that beautiful, smooth, flat journal that fits and feels nice in your hand, and then everything opens and lays beautifully on the inside. It's kind of what finishes off a journal and makes it look like, you really know what you're doing because everything's flat and nice. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it. Anyway, let's get some lace on here. Now I need to finish drinking this. What video shows making the signature? Barbara, making the signature would be the second, I think the second video in this series. Sorry, my chair's getting stuck. The second video in this series will show me make this signature. Usually the second video in every series makes the signature. The first video is usually always the cover. Second video is the signature. Then we start doing ephemera, but usually I've done a bunch of ephemera in the 365 series. The third video is kind of that ephemera going over it, whatever, placing it. And the fourth video is finishing touches, decorating it, whatever. I'm going to get the lace put in here. We're going to decorate the topper of this, and then we're going to do finishing touches. I can see when I close my journal, I've got a bunch of pockets down in the bottom half of my journal. This is my front cover. Bottom half of my journal, very thick. It's got lots of pockets, ephemera. Top half, like I can press here, not moving that much. Top half moves a lot. So I need to add more decoration up here in this top part. Maybe a couple of top tucks, maybe just some lacy details, maybe some clusters. But you want your journal to be more balanced than this. This is very firm here. Doesn't move a lot. But if I move it up here, this is very open. I just want to correct that a little bit, with whatever I can add up there. That's the other thing. But let's get some lace on. I do have some. I do have some lace. Some lace in front of me. I'm going to go get some other lace and we're going to go to town putting lace on this guy. Let's get this one. Let's get this one. So on the other wall of this room that the camera never shows is a wall of spools of lace. And it's these kind of spools of lace. The big spools of lace. So it's those kind. So let's add some of this. We'll start here and see where we go. Let me move this ephemera out of the way. I do have a couple projects behind me that I want to make with you guys too. So now that we're here and we're crafting, I am feeling better and let's do it. So if you guys want to stay, we're going to stay. This is what we're doing today. We're making stuff. Okay. This came from somewhere. Maybe that. Let's go through and figure out where we need to add lace. That guy needs a tab. Somewhere there is a piece of Florentine cardstock to cut tabs from. We're going to add lace on the cover spine as well. We don't want to add lace there. We could add lace to this. You know, we could. Let me see if I think I like it. I don't know about adding lace to that one. I like how the eco-dyed paper is showing. I like the layers down here at the bottom. I'm going to see if I don't have to add it there. We can't add it here. We can't really add it there. We need something big for here, and that's what I'm going to make. Okay, cool. Let's add it here. And we're going to add it here. Where? Here. So this piece was cut for this one, but I think I'm going to pull it and put it here. It's not big enough. Well, it's kind of big enough. I'm going to cut another one for there. So let's leave this one here. Keep losing my spot. Let's leave that for there for now, and let's cut one for here. Let's add this guy. This one here. It's like natural looking lace, right? It's not too frilly. I don't usually add lace on my ephemera until after I put it in a journal. Sometimes I do if visually I know it needs it. But otherwise I add it later like this. Many reasons for that. This is a new bottle of Fabri-Tac. Can you tell by the glue bubble? Some pockets I don't want lace on. It depends on where I place them. This one I do want lace. So I'm going to add this lace. Lace does have a front and a back. I've talked about it before. The smoother, nicer finished side is the front. The rougher feeling, you can kind of see how lace was made on the back of lace sometimes. If you can't tell which side is front and back, then it really doesn't matter. But if you can tell, then try using the right side. Then we use these. All of your plastic packaging that you get, I keep. Anytime I have like a bag like this where it has those little sticky seals on it, if it tears for some reason or whatever, I save it and I use it to put in between where I've added glue or where I've added lace, lace hand glue in my journal. This is what allows me just to put this plastic down here and turn the page. And now nothing is going to stick, and later on I will come and remove that piece of plastic. We don't really need to add lace to anything there. We need to make something for that, or I need to find it. And then this guy. Now, we can add that there. That's fine. I was thinking about adding something a little more drapey, but we're going to add this one. I love new bottles of Fabri-Tac. They're super, super fun. By that, I mean not. But so like if you look at this lace, I don't know if you guys will see it in camera. The difference between front and back is so, so small. You can't really tell it. I'm going to go with this way. If you can't tell, no one else will. That's my theory. On some of them, it is very, very obvious, though. So you want to make sure that you're not gluing down whatever page is on the back of it. And this one really doesn't need plastic, but we're going to stick it there just in case. And I keep reusing the same sheet of plastic until it gets so gluey and disgusting it needs changed. Now for right here, we could add lace going down both of these edges because I haven't added lace to any of the edges of the pages yet. I am not honestly sure if I want to in this journal, so for now I'm going to hold off on doing that. But if I decide to add lace down the edges of the pages, the outer edges down here, if I decide to add it, I start here in the middle and add it down both sides of the middle. And then I add some on the very front pages, somewhere in the front section and somewhere in the middle. That way I put the same lace. So I would do same lace down both sides, same lace in the middle somewhere, same lace on the front somewhere. And I generally keep the longest lace in the center and then a medium thickness lace in the middle and then a short lace in the front. That way, when you close your book, you have that beautiful layering effect of lace. So for now, we're not going to do it down the page edges. If I do it in the flip through when these are all finished, if you see it, then you know I decided to do it. We don't need to add lace to anything here, although I think this could use a little something. I keep staring at it and I'm just not sure if it needs a little something. I think it kind of does. And I have been trying to find a place to use these ever since I found them. And maybe we just stick it there in a little label. I don't know. I need to think about that. We'll come back to that. I'm leaving it there so I don't forget. This guy already has lace. This guy we don't add lace to because he flips. I mean, you could, but I don't think this is a lacy element. This guy we could add lace to. Let's see what else is back here and see if there's something else that definitely needs lace. We could definitely add lace to that one. We have two possibilities. And we don't add lace there. So I think we add lace to both of these. To even out the lace we have in the front, let's add lace to both. So the last pocket we had this lace on. We're going to add the short lace and the long lace. Let's add the short one here and the long one here. And I'm just saying long because it's longer than the other one. It's still relatively a short lace. Here's one of those. Craft paper. It's a possibility. I just want to cover up as least amount of that as possible. And then for this guy, I think this one. Okay. So let's get these on. And then we'll have lace at the bottom of our stuff at least. And we can see whether we want it on the page edges. I don't want this journal too frilly. I didn't want it absent of all lace, but so this one you can definitely tell front and back. This is front, and then this is back. I don't know if you guys can see it, but see these little threads that run through the back? I don't know if you guys can see it. There's little strings that run through the back, and you can really only see them on the back section, and that tells me that that's the back of the lace. And I like the lace to overhang the page if I can get it to, meaning hang out the bottom. I don't make it so that it can't sit on a shelf. I don't make it so frilly down here that it can't sit on a bookshelf, but I do like it to stick out the page. Okay, and then we're going to this one. So this is something I definitely need to do in the blue journal as well, is add lace. And I really do want to get those journals finished. I don't like it when they're just laying around here sad looking. You know what I mean? They need to be finished. Well, somebody bought a digital on Etsy. Thank you. This lace is very like crooked. I'm going to use it anyway. A silicone spatula is always helpful to add lace to pages. The glue will never stick to a silicone spatula. I mean, it will temporarily, but you can just peel it off later. So I'm trying to straighten out that lace. If it's a little ratty looking on the end, I'm good with that. Just makes it look more vintage. and another piece of plastic. And we've got all of our lace in because we're not adding lace to anything else back there. So we're good. So we ended up adding 5 pieces of lace total. We've got 5 pieces of lace with this one right here by my thumb being the longest, and it sticks out the most. So it's just a little peak of some lace. I don't know that I want to add it on the page edges. I'm going to have to think about that more. I think what I would rather add to the page edges would be clips, paper clips with little bead dangles or bead dangles off of eyelets or something like that. So let's add some tabs and some dangles throughout the front of it. You know, this part of it. Add some tabs and some dangles, some page tabs and some dangles, beaded dangles. Let's add that. Now we need to build a tassel tonight. We were supposed to build a tassel and we need to decorate this. So I don't want to put too much weight on this while that glue is drying. In fact, some of it is probably already dry, but we'll give it a minute before I put too much pressure on there. Let's talk about decorating up this guy and making the tag for it, and I'll set this off to the side to dry. Wendy, your package is here, and I believe you recently bought other things. Wendy in Australia, I believe your package is here. It got returned from UPS, and I believe you bought other things, so I can add those other things to the package and send it back out to you. I just saw her package sitting behind me, so I thought I would say it. Don't know if she is here because time difference for Australia would probably be crazy. Okay, decorating these. Night, Melissa. Those paper chip embossing that you did on your shelf, I thought was the coolest thing. The paint chip, yeah, they came out nice. They did. That was I saw Rose Hill Paper Cottage who embossed the little strips, and then I just embossed regular paint chips. But okay, we could decorate these and make the tags for them. This one doesn't have eyelets in it yet, so I just need to make a tag that fits in between my eyelets, because even though we glued on our pocket, your tag has to be able to fit in there. You don't actually have to put a pocket back here because, like I said, you can just tuck whatever you want behind this. It's elastic, so it would hold whatever. But if you want a definite pocket like I did, and so I was talking about this in the video too, I did this one where the coffee dyed paper cardstock to make your pocket comes all the way to the top. This one, I cut it down lower and made my pocket there. And I like the lower way better because this one, you're never going to see it. This is never going to be a problem on your journal. But when you take it off and you lift it up, see how you can see just the edge of that cardstock peeking right there? It's coffee dyed and it's inked, but just the particular person that my brain is, it's like, I think we can do better than that. So we did, and we put this down lower this time. It doesn't really matter. On the journal, you're never going to see it. No one is going to care other than me. But anyway, I thought I would point that out. If you're making it, you might want to put your pocket down lower if you're putting a pocket on it. Let's decorate them, and then we need to make journal cards. I need to measure the journal card so I know what size to make it. And then I need to drink some water or whatever. I don't leave it in ever. I dip it and pull it right back out, Amy. Coffee does not have, the paper, anything you put in there does not have to sit in there. Just dip it and pull it out. Avocado dye and stuff like that does need to soak. Colored things do need to soak as a general rule. Not all of them either, but avocado for sure needs to soak. Coffee, I just dip and pull right back out and put to dry. All right, so we are going to decorate the front of these. I talked about putting, where did I, oh, right there. I talked about putting a lady on these. I would really like either a Tim Holtz person or like a cabinet card lady. I also want to put a tall mushroom back there. So we're going to need to clip out some mushrooms. I'm thinking one of those three would be good. I also think we could put some tickets back there, which is why I printed a couple prints of these tickets, because I want to layer some tickets back there. So this is kind of layering stuff. We'll layer all of that. And then I want to layer in either cabinet card or Tim Holtz person. Let's get the background kind of laid out. I don't know, the cabinet cards look kind of nice. Let's see about those two. And I did check, and these are not in Etsy yet, but I will put them in Etsy. There's a bunch of pages of scanned, I didn't print them here. There's a bunch of pages of scanned, these are antique photos that I've scanned. They're French photos. I will scan more of them or organize them and then put them into Etsy. There's probably 40 pages of them already scanned, so I would need to make that shortened. We have short mushrooms if we want. These are the flowers I'm looking for. So these flowers are in Etsy, the mushrooms are in Etsy, the tickets are in Etsy, the bingo cards are in Etsy. Some of them are all combined into one. But let's do some large flowers back here with the mushrooms. So let's pull those. These are the ones I talk about that I just did and put in Etsy today, and I want to use those as journal cards. In fact, there was somewhere in the journal that we needed a large journal card. And we could use one of these as a large journal card behind that belly band. That needed a large journal card. These can be journal cards. They absolutely can. They could go in there, definitely. We just need to figure out which one looks best in that place, in that spot. I'm thinking one of these ones. One of this colorway would look at, and then I printed them even smaller than that because I was originally thinking about putting a pocket that goes sideways, and you totally can do it with an eyelet still there, with elastic there, you totally can do it. Your pocket's going to be behind your eyelet and behind your elastic, and I was thinking of having one of these painty journal cards coming out from the side of that, and I might actually make it a double pocket and do that. That would still be fun. Okay, so sidetracked. And here's tags because we do need some extra tags, and I was going to decorate those quick. So anyway, I did a lot of printing today too. Let's go ahead and pull that journal and put that journal card in where it needs to go. So this journal, and let's put that tag or that big journal card in the belly band. Wherever is that gigantic belly band. I'm sure these plastic things don't need to be in here anymore anyway. And pull them. They were just in there to keep the pages from sticking together. So right here, we need to find a journal card, which is going to be that painty, this paintiness. Watercolor floral journal cards. They went into Etsy today. They're beautiful, and you can use them for multiple things. So like, they come full size. They come 8.5 by 11. You can print them any size you want. Like this is the 5 by 7 size, but you can also cut out this portion for a journal card and then use these as your painty little watercolor swatches. And I think it would look really cute if you just rough tore them out. And then you could paper clip them down the side edge of a page like that across the top. You could decorate behind something with them. So I think you can use, first of all, they come as pages, so you could use them as journal pages. You could use just that half of it, just this half as a journal card. And then you could use all of these as individual little decorating strips in a journal. So very useful. But I don't think pinks are going to do it back there. Pinks are beautiful, but I think we have too much olive and orange and warm colors going for pink. There's blues. Again, we don't really have any blues here, so I don't think we'll do blues. I could do the subdued purples that are in here. I could do that peeking out. This one is better because it has more olive tone in the leaves. So I could do that purple, but we do have this one. And these are the ones I'm thinking of because they match the colors better. So maybe that one, because there's yellows, pinks, purples, and blues. We're going to do that first one. I like this one the best. And I don't have a paper trimmer in here, so we're going to hand cut it. I printed them on cardstock. It's just a Nina cardstock. So you guys always ask me what papers I use. The cardstock that I use is Nina. It's Neeenah. But Nina makes many different kinds of cardstock. The one that I use, it has a very smooth, like super smooth finish on it. I think it might be called super smooth. I'm not sure. I will have to try to link the papers for you guys sometime so that you can get the exact ones. I had an Amazon favorites list. I do not know where it is, how to find it. I lost my link. Don't stress about it because eventually I will find it. And we will put the Amazon favorites page back up. But for now, I have to link in each individual item. And the paper is Nina, and the cardstock is Nina. The actual paper that I use is, it's a Hammermill Premium 28-pound paper. That's what I print all of my digitals on. It's 28-pound Hammermill Premium color copy. It is important that you get like a 28-pound or 24-pound minimum for journal pages. So this is just printed on cardstock, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of ink and kind of vintage it up. And I could put coffee dyed paper on the back of it because it is a very large journal card, and I think it could use it. It would hold it. It's thick enough. But first of all, I want to ink it. So maybe the lady, while she was a botanist out in the field studying flowers, that was the backstory of my little, I don't know, journal, my fat journal. The backstory was it was a female botanist and she was studying flowers. So maybe she did a quick little watercolor one day. We could totally put a tab on that. And then that goes back there. And it's super cute back there. I love that. It fits in that belly band beautifully. It is a very large, nice journal card. And when you pull it out, you get kind of a surprise, right? Because who expects that back there? And you can leave the little watercolor swatch peeking out down here across the bottom. It's super cute. I love it. I love it. So anyway, I think I'm going to put coffee dyed paper on the back of it though, because it's just white. And yes, you could just ink it and that probably would be fine for lots of folks, but I want to put coffee dyed paper on the back of mine. So I'm going to do that. And I might add a tab, but I might not. I kind of like it just like it is. Cool. I'm glad that happened. Let's go back to this now. I kind of forgot about that. Okay. This guy. We're going to get some flowers back there first. And I want yellow or red. Purple would be last choice. Yellow or red. These two pages. We're going to have a reddish brown mushroom, so let's go with the yellow flowers. So the flowers, you know, you can print on anything. You guys know that. I printed them on, I'm just going to rough cut that first. I printed them on the 28-pound paper today, but in the past I have printed them on rice paper. And rice paper acts like a napkin does when you like decoupage a napkin down. So these are printed on, they have their base color is like an antique paper color. So you don't have to be super accurate. That was kind of the point of that. is that you just cut the main parts out and around, but you don't have to cut every little bit of it out. Now this is going on this bingo card, and I kind of forgot about that. So you do want to cut a little bit of it because the bingo card is not creamy colored, but on regular paper or a tag or whatever, the creamy background looks fine. It matches. It's great. Thank you to whoever purchased on Etsy again. Let's get this guy cut out, and we will start layering back here. And this is the focal point. This is the belly band that goes across. It's not really a belly band. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's the closure. It's the topper. It's very important. It's important we take our time. It's important. It's very decorative, because what sells journals? The front cover. The front cover is what sells journals. Then people will look inside if the front cover is interesting enough, right? If you're selling it on Etsy or something like that, or you're posting it in Facebook up for sale, that first photo that, draws people in is usually the front cover. Not always, but usually the front cover. So make sure your front covers are very decorative. They should be the prettiest part of your journal, unless it's more of a, old book or something like that, an antique book, and you've repurposed it, which is great. But sometimes, they, even if you're using like a marble cover one or something, sometimes they're a little plain on the front, which, that's fine. It is what it is. But generally putting some kind of topper on that's decorative, some nice lace, something like that. If you were saving nice things to use at some point, the best things for a journal, then you would want to save things for the front cover. Okay, so we have that flower. I think we're going to put 2 flowers and a mushroom back there. Let's go ahead and get another flower cut out. And I said red, but now our mushrooms are kind of red, so let's look at the purples. Let's look at the purples. There's this purple. Let's try this tall purple one. The marker that I use to cover up when you fussy cut things, the marker that I use, it's the Tombow, and I think it's 942. You could use that on these as well to color in between the little leaves, and that would be fine. That way you don't have to be quite so fussy. I'm being fussy because I'm not putting it on a background like a book page or something like that. These were designed to blend into book pages. Okay. So we're cutting. I think you guys can just barely see me wiggle it. I'm standing up at this point for some reason. I don't know why I lost my chair, but I did. Around each individual little flower, as close as I can, and wiggling. Here we're just going to wiggle a little bit. Yeah. Okay, there you guys go. We're going to get this guy glued on. I've got a little bit of cutting right in here. I'm actually using the big scissors, and I should, when you're really trying to get detail, you should get your cutter bees or some better scissors. These are fine, but the cutter bees would have been easier to cut down in between these leaves. Okay, last cut, and we're good. So we have a couple of flowers. Let me get this little bit in the trash. I did get a new trash can in here finally, a taller one, so hopefully my aim is a little better. And then a mushroom. And then we'll see about getting one of these on here. I'm not sure. We won't know till we do it. I'm going to lay it all out first and then glue it on. Who's crafting along with me? Who's making a topper? Those mushrooms, they're there. If you just search digital, I don't have a million digitals in my Etsy. There's very few. If you just search digital, they're linked in some of the videos when I use them. But for tonight, in the description box, the listing, in the description box, my whole Etsy store is listed. But in the video where I make the topper for today's 365 video, the bingo cards are listed in there. The mushrooms, I don't know what I called them. I think they're French mushrooms, but okay, we're going to save that cardstock. We can make a tab out of that, and the rest can go in the garbage. I'm going to get my Tarragon and my journal. We need to look at the journal. I'll put this topper on for just a few moments while we lay everything out. It's fluffier now, definitely fluffier now. Let's see how our journal closure works now that we've got most of the ephemera in. It's still pretty loose, so I'm going to double it up. I lost my tag too. That guy goes in there. Goes right in. Nope, it goes in there. Yes. And then we put our closure on. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to lay it out because we can see it on the journal. We've got some little flowers. I've got this, but I don't know if I can in fact get it on there. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, if I just put the flowers, if I just put flowers back there and no mushroom, I think we probably could make it work. Not like that, but somehow we've got to play with it. Maybe we put the short little mushroom. We leave our giant flowers like this and we put the short little mushroom down here in the front with a label. Possibly. More playing. I only cut out big mushrooms, so let's see about short little mushrooms. Short little mushrooms are printed somewhere right here. So short little guys are these guys. Oh, those are tall. These guys here. Little mushroom journal cards. But you can also just fussy cut these. I like the size of these ones. This guy isn't bad. He could kind of fit there. This guy isn't bad either because he tilts off to this side, which I like. And I think these guys are a little bit too big still. So I'm thinking the ones from the journal cards. Still thinking the ones from the journal cards are better. So let's do journal card mushrooms. They're the smallest. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa's got it. Let's cut out one of these guys and see if we can layer this in somehow. Maybe we want just these small little guys. We might have to play with this for a moment. Maybe we want some like wild mushrooms kind of just woven in here. Or we want real mushrooms like this one. I'll cut out a couple and we'll play with those. These make great focal points. These ones, the sheet of these, they make great focal points because they already have like a little border around them. So I'm going to fussy cut them. I honestly just don't know. So we're going to just sit down and we're going to cut them. We're going to sit down and cut them. I'm going to have to silence that. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'll try to wrap it up here after we get a couple more things made. We usually do a 3-hour like craft with me or class or whatever it is. I'm thinking maybe this one. Let's try this one first. We won't know till we do it. And let's go ahead and get the cutter bees. I do have those in here. I just need to remember to use them. Cutter bees are super, super slicey though. They're almost too slicey for me. They cut too fast. You know what I mean? I like the big scissors, I really do. But these will be very helpful for going around the edge. The edge of these little greeneries down here. I'm trying to cut this at a weird angle. It's not working for me. There we go. And I want as much of this little ferny vegetation as I can get. And then there's roots down here. Almost there. I'm glad that you guys are making these journals with me, and it would make me really sad to not do kits anymore. So, despite the work, I think we're just gonna keep going. That's pretty cute. I think once we get them inked up, I think something like this could work. It's covering up a lot of the bingo card, and we would still need like a label or something. But let's ink around it and see how we like it then. Nope, I didn't show it. I'll just show and sell it on Tuesday, guys. Do you want a peek? You guys have been here with me for long enough. Do you want like this is only part of it. Do not judge a book by its cover. You're not going to see very much of it because I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you what's right here in front of me. This doesn't show you very much, but it shows you a little bit. 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 Okay? Tiny little peek. Still working on it. Okay, inking these. Did you guys see tiny little peek? If I have a glue cap, then that means I have a glue. And this is probably from like 5 hours ago that I left that lid off. Okay. I'm glad you guys think it's cute. It's a work in progress. I have to make digitals. Like the digitals are made at this point, but I had to make digitals. So, you know, it all just takes time. It takes lots of time actually. And then I have to print the special pages for you guys. Like last time you got like a sticker sheet or focal points or whatever. I want to make sure I give you guys focal points for this one also, because it's, you know, it's fairy themed, but the pages and the kit is not fairy themed. I should stop saying that. I'm making mine into a fairy themed journal, but there's nothing in there that has to be made into a fairy journal. It doesn't have to be fairy. It's just a sweet, shabby chic journal. Really, that is what it is. However, I am putting fairy ephemera, making fairy focal points and things like that in my kit or in my journal. You're free to make yours however you want to make it. I'm trying to ink this just a little bit. But anyway, I like it. I think it's coming along, and I love the little sweet little fairy things. They're so cute. There's fairy book pages and stuff like that. But again, it's kind of blending into this botanical journal, but the other, it blends with this one. So you could use a lot of the things from this kit in that one, in the sense of you could use botanical, like book pages, right? That could go in the fairy journal, but it's also just a sweet, frilly, shabby chic journal that has flowers all over in it. So, you know, the two elements, the botanical pages, the book pages do blend together, but nothing else really does. I can't even talk anymore. I can't think and ink and talk at the same time. Oh my gosh. Can't do it. You don't get everything that I make with. You get a lot of things to make the journal, but everybody makes a different journal. Everybody, has different styles and they want to use a different digital kit. And, where I want to make mine fairy, some other people don't. So you get enough stuff to make a full journal, but how you end up, what theme you go with, what you actually end up doing is completely up to you. Like, how should I say that? You guys will probably be phrasing it better than me. But you get like stuff to make the signature. You definitely get stuff to make the cover with. That's always included. So everything for the cover is included. I'm going to try to tuck those kind of half in and half out. I could slice this one and do more of the same, tucking in and tucking out. They need to go down here though. And she needs to go up there. You get a lot of things. You get plenty of stuff, but you do have to have like glue and scissors and basic things. And then you need to, plan on using some stuff from your stash to fill out the rest of the journal. We make a lot of ephemera in the 365 series, and we make the basic journal here in the 4 classes. I think this is looking fairly good. I think I could layer something like that on there and be happy with it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to ink around a couple more little things, and then we're going to glue this all together. Now the question is, do I want any type of fabric? I mean, I know that I do, so I'm just going to say I kind of want another layer. I want one more layer because we have paper and we have card, but I want one more layer. So, we're going to tuck that back there. We're going to tuck that back there. Kind of some in the front and some in the back-ish, as much as I can get them to lay like that. But what about a fabric-y element? Do I have that in here? I don't. It's in the hallway. I need to go grab something, a fabric layer for this. I will be right back and we will keep going. Okay. So I have, this is what I'm thinking. I have some torn strips that I used to use this on the inside of fabric covers. It's like a tan ticking. I need to get a little fabric in here, I think. I don't necessarily want a bunch of lace, but I think maybe a little fabric, maybe poking out the corner, the back. I'm trying not to make everything fall off, but a little fabric. Ooh, you know what? I just need to put this fabric down the spine of my journal. That would make me happy because I don't like it back there anyway. Let's just put it down the spine of our journal. And then I can get my fabric look. We either do this or we do lace down the spine. Okay, never mind. We're going to continue with topper. I'll put fabric and lace somewhere else. When I'm looking at it like this, with no fabric, no lace, no nothing, it definitely needed it. But I forgot we're going to put it down here. So the fact that we're going to put it here means I'm fine. I don't need to add it here. If you want to add lace to whatever you're doing here, go for it. If you want to add some lace underneath of all of this, go for it. For me, I'm not going to. But now we need to talk about like that little, we needed a label or something. And I think what I wanted to do is add a ticket down here or something. So we've got all of these. Some kind of a ticket possibly as a label, or at least a holding place to add a label onto later. I don't want to add green because obviously we have plenty of green in the topper. I don't really want to add like purple because it's too purpley, because we already have this purple flower, you know what I mean? Same thing with the yellow. I could add it, but then that's a whole big cluster of yellow because of this. So really, we're down to a neutral one, which these little guys down here are just neutral little tickets. Let's see how we like these. I'll cut these little tickets out quick. This one I can tell was printed on regular printer settings instead of my special printer settings. It doesn't really matter at this point because it's just a ticket. I need to change that back. Just going to cut the whole ticket out and then we'll cut it down from there, I think. So I think we're just going to use part of it tucked back there. So that's for neutral. And then, right, that's kind of the idea, is just to kind of tuck her back in there. There's this ticket and it has a blue line, and I think I want the blue line. Maybe. Okay, so there's tickets for me. I don't need the rest of these tickets. I don't think I do. As I cut out one more, I don't think I do. Let's see. This is just a right size and possibly right color. Let's see. So all of these are actual scans of original things. What if we did something like this as a base? Because our flowers cannot just float here. They cannot float in the air. They need something down there. Something down there to anchor them. Now, a nice Tim Holtz label would also work. So I reserve the right to change the label idea. But let's get this glued because I think we're fine. I don't think we need to stress about it anymore. We're just going to do it. And I have to make 3 of these. So not right here, not the second, but I do need to make 3 of them. What are you saying? Glue? It's a glue question. You guys ask a lot of glue questions. Everybody, I think, does. Fabri-Tac. Yes, absolutely Fabri-Tac. Also staples, you know, like regular staples would hold fabric on as a page tab. Some glue sticks will hold it. If you put enough of Uhu on, it probably would hold it. As long as you're not like really rough turning your pages, even Uhu would probably work for it. So the purple one kind of goes in the background, and then these two go in the foreground. So let's get the purple on first. Okay, both Jennifers in the house tonight, I see. Jennifer M and Jennifer S. My glue is very dry because I left it open forever. Okay. Big old chunk of glue. I don't know exactly where it was, but there-ish sounds good. And I'm just doing it right on the journal. And I said I wasn't going to. Now, this is cardstock, and because it's cardstock, I'm going to use art glitter glue. Usually I only use Oohoo if it is paper. You could use Oohoo on this, it would have been fine, but I'm going to use this. And I like to overglue it. It's a topper, it's on the front cover. I overbuild everything pretty much, so especially the topper parts, because those, you know that they're going to be taken off and on as often as the person wants to work in their journal. So we're gonna, oh, I kept that too low. Dang it. Dang it. Now she's gonna have to be up there. She is. Didn't work out exactly how I had hoped, but that's okay. We're all right. Put that on there. Press down. And now we get this one on. And then we get this one on. It's not exact. This one was over a little bit more, but that's okay. It was kind of over the front, but it's all right. I keep telling myself that. Trying to talk myself into it. Okay. Gluing, gluing, gluing. Glued. And this one's going to go right around that eyelet, I think. It is also lower, but it needs to go around this eyelet right here. This could also be sprayed, and I think it's a good idea to spray it, so I will spray it tonight with the clear coat. And then the mushroom. And then a label. It's getting hot here, guys. I live in Arizona, for those of you that didn't know. It is getting super hot here. I know when May rolls around, it's kind of like a dread, because for the rest of you guys, you're happy that May rolls around because it's like, you know, the end of your winter and you finally get into spring. Just playing with the placement on this a little bit. That's good. But for us, May rolls around and you're like, ah, it's going to begin soon. You got to make sure you get all your chores and your projects done because you will not be going outside for the next 6 months unless you have to. Nobody likes to go outside when it's 120 degrees. So, yeah. Okay, looking good there. Like it. I wish that the purple flower was tucked back over there where it was, but I'll live with it. I'm just going to quit complaining, maybe. And I don't know. I think these are all too big now. Now I have rearranged it, and they are all too big. They're going to cover up too much of our greenery. So I think we're going to go with a Tim Holtz label after all of that. The only thing I'm thinking of is what if we took this guy and cut him down and made him, I need to line this up perfectly, made him a little smaller. I don't want to cover up that much of my greenery. So we're going to make him small and see if I like that. A label can be made out of anything. It does not have to start its life out as a label. See, that looks way different than this looks, and it was basically the same thing. I've just cut it down. And now I have extra labels. Okay, let's ink this and see if I like it. I don't know that I do, but let's just ink it and see. It's here and it's easy. Sometimes that's just the right way. Okay, so Jennifer S., can we please refrain from talking about what you do and what you sell here, please? I would appreciate it. Thank you. We've had that conversation already once earlier today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is not a place to, you can ask a glue question and a general question, but it's not an appropriate place to be advertising what you make. And I know somebody might have asked you, whatever that case may be, but it's not really appropriate, guys. You guys need to, I don't know, be a little bit more respectful, I guess. Thank you. And I am getting firmer and firmer with that only because I'm forced to get firmer and firmer with it. So now I want to position this kind of off to the side like that. I still want to see my roots of my mushroom down here. I don't want to just cover it up like that. Looks like too obvious, but if you just move it up and over to the side, you still see your little dotted border around your lottery card. You still see some roots and it looks pretty good. We could go on this side with it, but my preference is the other side, this side. And then we're just leaving this corner open. Now we could come in and do a postage stamp or something else up in this area, so I'll look at that next. Let's go ahead and get this label glued on. We are going to use it. Yeah, I am having to be like an absolute stickler about things because it's just, while I know your intent is fine. Some people have other intents. And if I just have to be fair to, I just have to be fair across the board and I have to say the same thing to everyone. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Even could have, like, if I would have thought about it, it would have been nice to layer some little number or something up kind of behind that. I really like this little stamped number and I wish I could get it to go there, but I used art glitter glue, so there's not really a way. All right, let's look at something else then for a postage stamp or something to finish this off. But we did pretty good. I put glue on that. We did pretty good. I think she's really cute for just being made out of, digitals and printables and things. We need to make that journal card that goes back there. But let's look at postage stamps quick. Where did I put those? I put them right here. So that the big old pile of stamps that I had when I was making those little clusters, those stamps are right here, and I kept them out so that we could play with them. I know it's too much green, but it's really happy and bright, and I like it. Let's see about this guy. He does balance the yellow nicely. It's an option. Maybe we get one with a different cancel, like that. It balances the yellow nicely, but there are some red ones somewhere in here. I like to try to keep them all face up, and I, of course, like to flip every which way. Okay, a red face. Maybe this one. It adds a touch of red that we don't have anywhere else. I really like the cancel. I think the yellow one might be better. I'm looking in the camera. Let's look. I know your guys' intent. It's not that. It's what happens after the fact. Because what happens when we're live is entirely different than what happens after the fact with people in the Facebook group and people messaging people. And it's become a whole huge thing. Honestly, that Facebook group is just more of a pain in my side than anything else. When I made the Facebook group, it was not my intent to make a list of people who would buy other people's things. And that's kind of what some people come into the group and use it for. And when they see that I am allowing someone to talk about something that they make and they sell, then they're like, oh, well, so and so was doing it during your live, so I thought it was okay. And so it's always just, it's just, some people have really great intent. I know your intent is fine. Other people come into the group and they join the group and they come here and it's for an ulterior motive. Um, and it's just a really unfortunate that this is how it has to be right now. It's just become something where it's not a happy place sometimes. It's not a happy place for me, and sometimes it's not a happy place for anyone else. I think we are going to go with the yellow one, but I did try out that black one too because I do like the black. What do you guys think about the black? It's just constantly like having to be, here's the rules, look at the rule. Like, I just am so sick and tired of having to be the mom and the police of everything. And the only other alternative is to just let it run wild, which I have also tried doing, and it doesn't work that way either. So what do you guys think of black? Black or yellow? You liked the yellow? I need to look at it again. I think this is the yellow one we had. I do like the yellow too, but it's a lot of yellow. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Honestly, either one of them is fine. We'll go with the yellow. I'm going to squish these all back together. There's probably even a different color that would work in here. Maybe a blue one. It just brightens it up. And I do like the fact that there's blue flowers. See, there's not really an ugly way to go, right? Okay, I see people asking for the black one, people asking for the yellow one. I know. So let's just leave the stamp out of the equation for the moment, but we will plan on adding a stamp. These little guys. Anyway, growing a channel is sometimes good and sometimes bad. And right now we're just kind of in the growing pain stage. A little bit bigger and no one will bother me. No one will be able to, I don't know, do what they do because we'll make some changes. But in the middle stage right now, unfortunately, I'm still having to deal with some bad apples. When we get a little bit bigger, we will have a policeman to police it for me, and I won't have to, and it will be fine. Okay, there we go. We're going to add a stamp. I don't know which kind of stamp, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to spray that with the sealant. It does look a little bit better in person than it does through that camera because it gets washed out until I hold it up for you guys. And maybe you guys can vote on a stamp now that it's closer. There is a yellow one back there. I promise. See, I think that's too much yellow. It's happy, but I think something else is also good. I don't know. We'll have to do that later. But anyway, I will spray this with clear coat. Let's make this quick little tag for back there. Blue. So the burlap can go down the spine. The burlap could be used to make a pocket inside of the journal on a page. You could sew it to some antique book page that if you take some rag paper book page or any book page really and glue two pages together so that they're thick and strong and sturdy, then you can take that burlap and cut a little piece or tear a little piece at a diagonal and make a pocket. Burlap was put in the kit, so it is an option for you guys to use. A lot of things in the kit are just there because some people will use them, some people won't. I may use it, I may not. It just depends on when I'm crafting the journal, what I feel like putting in there. But I do overly stock those kits so that there is plenty of different things for all the different people's styles, whatever you want to do. Some people wanted to make it a garden journal because it was so heavily floral and botanical and whatever. They wanted to take it to a garden direction. So while there is a lot of things included in the kit, it does not mean that I'm going to use every single one of them. It's just there for you. I'm fully aware that you could probably build, multiple journals out of one kit. It just also stocks up your supply of journal supplies. So if you don't use it for this journal, you'll have it for future journals. Okay. bigger. It's always like that, and I hate that part about this. I really do. The bigger, like when you were small, you didn't have anything to worry about. Nobody cared about you. You were too small for them to mess with. You know, who cares? You know, you were having a little live sale and you were selling X amount. But the second that you get to be a larger level of whatever it is you're talking about, you know, I'm still a tiny little channel, but for whatever reason, there are still people who are unhappy that I'm doing what I'm doing. And it doesn't, I'm not, I don't impact anyone else. I'm just here doing what I'm doing, right? So why does it bother people? I have no idea, but it does. And then they figure out ways to harass you, I guess. So, and again, the only problem I've ever had is with other sellers of things. Some of you guys shop with that other person that sells twice a week. You know who it is. I have a history with that person. Some of you guys met me for the very first time when I was with that other person. That was a very long time ago. I have never told you guys why I'm not with that person other than that that person did some things and I left. So that being said, that person has continued to harass me, this channel, and everything I do. They've tried to ruin everything I do, and that's just their way about going about the fact that I am now selling apart from them. It's an ugly situation, and I just have to make the best of it and do the best I can. And I don't care about what anyone else does. I just wish that they would go do it and leave me alone. That's all I ever asked for. Let's take this off and let's make a journal card. 2 journals. Some of you guys said you were making 2 journals out of it. And I didn't really think about cutting down the envelope, but you surely could. So we want to measure between our eyelets because we need to make a journal card that fits in there. And every time it goes in this direction, conversation, I tell myself, you just need to ignore it. It's really hard. It's really hard when somebody hacks into everything you have and DDoSes your live sale so that you can't sell. It's really hard. Anyway, it was 3.5 inches. You guys have no idea the things that I have to deal with. No idea. We run a completely different, it's actually 3 inches from eyelet inside to eyelet, eyelet outside to eyelet outside. I have to run and pay for all kinds of extra security just to be able to do what I'm doing without them constantly doing things to make that stream not happen. Let's make a 3-inch tag that's going to be tall enough to fit in here with a little tab that sticks out at the top. So let's do that. We're going to make it out of, do I have masterboard in here cut up? Because the masterboard tag would be great in there. Let's see if I have some masterboard that's not used. This is all Florentine. I thought we did have some masterboard. I have some offcuts of cardstock, like Tim Holtz cardstock, too small. I mean, I don't know why people think that they own you and that they can control like what you do. Like, I don't go to their thing. I don't care about what they do. I just want to be left alone. This one would actually fit in there. If I did that blue stamp and put a tab on that, let's slide this in and see how this works out. Well, that's the other thing, like, what other choice do I have other than to just keep doing what I'm doing, right? And pay the things I have to pay for to keep people away from me, I guess. Okay. Let's just get this guy in there. It's a little bit of a tight fit. It does need loosened with a bone folder down inside the pocket, but it does fit in there. You don't even have to push it in all the way, but it's kind of a cute little sewn around tag. And since I didn't sew around the front cover of my journal, I'm really tempted just to use this because I don't know where else we're going to stick it. There is blue flowers here, and I think I could put that blue stamp on. So let's just use this one. It's a messy sewn around, completely messy stitched little tag. It was one of the 365 videos. I enjoy doing what I do. To be deterred, it's just an annoyance and a frustration. And when I go to streamer school, I will learn how to like not let it bother me. But for now, I'm human and it bothers me. Okay, let's stick this back on now. So I think, I mean, other than decorating the top part of that journal and doing these other little projects, we really are pretty good. And so when I stick this on and tighten it up, I might just leave it doubled like this because I really do like it doubled. And it gives the new owner of this journal the option, like if they want to make this guy super, super chunky fat, then they can. Now I'm going to put glue on this and I'm going to tuck this back behind here, or maybe not because it's doubled now and it can't. But anyway, I will definitely, right now there's 2 knots on there. You don't need 2, you only need 1. I have 2 just for added security as I'm messing with it. When I get ready to cut it to size, I will only have 1 knot, and I will take Fabri-Tac, or you can take super glue, and just put a couple little dots of Fabri-Tac or super glue around your knot to hold your knot securely into place. You will not have all of this. You'll just have a little tiny little tail back there. But that's a pretty cute little closure, if I do say so myself. I really like it. And I like the fact that it's removable and elastic. Now, just because it's me, I'm going to take some antique ephemera and put it back there. Where is Peace? Let's take one of these. I don't think we used this one in the journal. So let's put one of these antique documents in the put one of these in the journal. So this guy, a couple of different covers here. Let's take one of these and put one of these folded up behind our little journal card. I don't really like to rip one out at a time. I like to rip 2. So let's take those and we'll put those back there behind it. Just give us a jump start on loading this guy up with beautiful antique things. Because I want a bunch of documents underneath of here. That's how I'm finishing mine off. That's the part that you guys would normally see like in the flip through. But I just want to see how it looks because I love it. So let's do it. Let's tuck this one back there. I think so. So we're just going to kind of, just going to kind of fold it. I think I do want it to go this way. Just going to fold it and stick it so it sticks out. There we go. That's a little straighter. Yeah, I definitely want some old documents folded up and stuck back here. Just kind of a pile of them layered underneath of that. It's just really supposed to look like, you know, somebody was working in it. I wanted a little wider. Somebody was working in the journal. Maybe the lady that owned the journal from way back when. And she just had a bunch of loose documents and like invoices and whatever. Maybe even a letter could go back there. And we'll just stick it back there and kind of pile it up. Good. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know if I'll tear off that bottom section or what, but we'll continue to add a bunch of things back there and layer it up so that there's documents back here. So we need to add beads or charms, whatever your choice is, to these strings. And we needed to do a tassel. Oh my gosh. Sarah, you are funny. You are funny. Let's go ahead and let's leave this for now. We've got our tag in here. I think we'll add a tab to the top of it, and I need to loosen the pocket. I will fill this guy up with some more ephemera and documents and stuff back there. Let's talk about that tassel. Let me go get the kit. We're about 15 minutes over. Let me go get the kit and we'll talk about that tassel. So you guys know that I appreciate you very much, but I probably do not do enough saying it. But I definitely appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you having my back. And I appreciate your, loyalty and just honesty too. Like, you guys are great about just, you know, you show up, you don't ask for anything in return. You're just here and you're hanging out and we're having fun. And, you know, it, it's nice whenever it's just kind of friends crafting together. And I just appreciate you guys for hanging out with me every week. So this is the little baggie of things. Let's talk about the things that are in here quick. Um, So there is a whole big bunch of things in this bag. First of all, you got a little bamboo or whatever wooden pin. This was in case you wanted to make a charm, which I'm going to use one of the ones I made in the 365 series. If you want to make the one that I'm using, I didn't bring it in here, but I basically took apart my slide case. This is a vintage slide. I have glue all over my fingers, but I took apart a vintage slide and I covered it with antique handwritten paper. You could use a digital or whatever, and put a pressed flower in between the two pieces, because slides, these are two pieces of cardboard kind of stuck together. So if you take it apart, cover it up, put your little dried flower in there. I'm going to use mine as a charm. I have them already made from the 365 series. You got this lovely little tassel guy. Now he's made with, I don't know what this is, sisal or something, but it's definitely a natural fiber. And these little wooden beads, the wooden beads on your tassel can be dyed or colored. So if you want to color them more like, a brown wood, you can use your vintage photo or whatever. But you could also color them any color with Tim Holtz inks or a marker even. So that is going to clip on. I'm going to add some charms to it and some bead dangles. This is the clip that I'm going to use to clip this guy on up here. It's just a brass skeleton clip. I need to get this glue off my fingers. It looks disgusting. I just saw it in there. Anyway, so there's that. In the little baggie, there is a bunch of wooden beads. There is a stone charm, a wooden pendant, or not a wooden pendant, a stone pendant that you could also, and like they're all different sizes and all different colors of stone. They're natural stones. So all of these things are charms to put on the tassel. And then you have a metal, I'm trying not to dump out my beads because they'll go flying everywhere. But you have a wooden, oh my gosh, it's not wooden, it's metal. You have a wood, oh my gosh, you cannot stop saying wooden. I do have a headache, but it's not making me crazy. Maybe I'm having a stroke. I don't know. Anyway, you have one of these metal book plates that you could put on and, put a little number in, and you could totally fix this to your bingo card before you put your pocket on and put some tape over the back of your little brads or whatever, and then your pocket wouldn't be affected. You could put it on now, but your pocket would be shorter because, nothing would go through there. But you could definitely use that on the front cover. So there's that. There are little screws in here for it, but I don't know that the screws will work very well on your journal cover. You might have to do some engineering on that. These little glass leaves are what is going on my signature strings. They're little glass leaves with little flecks of gold in them. And they're going down here on my signature strings. And I'm going to layer up some other beads, maybe some of the wooden beads with some of you also got other various natural gemstone beads in there. So the wooden beads, gemstone beads, and the leaves at the bottom, and that'll be my signature strings. Again, the green goes with the green in the bingo card. It's all planned out. So glass beads on signature strings. What else is in here? Oh, you have metal charms too. You have various metal charms. Everybody got different metal charms, so yours will not be exactly like this, but you all got 4 brass charms. There was 2 keys usually and 2 leaves of different sizes. And then down here in the bottom, you got a bunch of bulb pins. The bulb pins are just for you to make little dangles out of and use wherever in your journal you want. Like you could put, an eyelet in and dangle the little bead charm off of that. And you could use these beads to make your bead charms with. There also is a freshwater pearl dangle, and that is already made. It already has the attachment things to it. So my plan is to make some bead dangles and put in here my little slide charm and some more of this type of chunky charms, mixed media charms. I'll probably tie an antique skeleton key to mine just because I like that look. But anyway, you have a big old bag of other beads and things to play with. And you could put these on your signature strings if you didn't want to put the glass leaves on there. So this is how we're finishing off the journal. To do the beading work for this, it probably would take like at least an hour. So I'm just saying that's kind of the process. If you don't know how to make basic bead charms, what I would suggest is take a piece of junk jewelry that you like the beads on and cut apart the junk jewelry and then just add your beads in here. Junk jewelry is kind of like a cheating way of doing bead charms because basically they come like this and they already have the, sorry for the glue fingers, they already have the eye on them so that you can just quickly attach them. You could also attach these with those bulb pins, but for me, I'll be putting a wire or a chain, and that's the same for this guy. He'll have an eyelet in him, and then it will all clip to the front of the journal. This guy, I don't know, you could tuck him in anywhere. He was just included, oh, I forgot to do the little notebook too. He was included with those little brown field notebooks, and one of those was supposed to be decorated and go in the pocket, but I forgot about them because I didn't actually make my journal from a kit. I just made my journal. I used things that I gave you guys in the kit, but I didn't take apart someone's kit because more people wanted a kit than what I had kits for. So I didn't take apart anyone's kit to make my journal. I'm putting this back in here. This will go to someone who wants it. And I have extra supplies that I can come and make what I need to make. I just didn't want to take somebody's whole kit. There was also other kinds of fabric in your kit that you could have used down the spine or to make pockets or to even cover the inside or outside cover of your journal. There was various laces, there was various collage papers, and there was all of the paper. I don't know, there's a whole big bunch of paper back here, including things I printed for you guys to make this journal out of. That was kind of quick overview of that kit. Not very much of an overview, but okay. So the little notebook, I completely forgot about it, and there was even extras, so don't be surprised if you see it in the end because it would be really, I want to tuck it in here. It adds journal space and I want to add journal space, so it will be in the flip through. I just need to remember to first of all find where I put them. Let me just make myself a note because I'm gonna forget. I need the little field notebook because I will forget. But yeah, I need to make that and put that in here. I also have a project sitting behind me for, there's like 4 other projects sitting behind me for this journal, for these journal series. So after I do those 4 projects, I think we're going to probably move on and start making stuff for the next journal. I will already have started making stuff for the next journal next week. So we'll finish up this guy tonight. There might be a couple like those 4 projects I have behind me, and then we will move away from Botanical and we will move to the new kit. What else was I going to say? Oh, the tool videos. The tool videos will be next week as well. So I might make up some extra. I don't know. We might get enough extra video in or 2 next week. I'm trying to get caught up because I know I'm a good 2 weeks behind. It's actually if today was day 101, it is actually day 116, I believe. I am a full 15 days behind in that series. I don't know. I think it's going to be a pretty journal when it's done. It just needs a little bit of finishing. Not too much. And I think it's the right amount of lace for me. I didn't want it too lacy, so I think that's the right amount. I want to find some other papers to shove back here so badly. I love this kind of like layering paper bundle. Let me show you. So this is what I want it to look like. I want it to look like this, where there's just like a pile of old rough documents like coming out from behind here. Like obviously not this thick of a pile, but a pile. Like we could even just like tuck whatever this is in there. I don't know what this is, but we could tuck it in there. Just start tucking some rough paper. We want to tuck two of the same thing in there, but we could just start tucking some papers in here. I don't know how to get it in there. It's better to tuck it when the elastic isn't on because I'm just going to end up tearing it. But anyway, just tuck a big pile. I've never looked in these bundles before. We're just going to tuck some stuff in this journal, guys. We're going to go through here and we're going to tuck some stuff in there. There's some cute stuff in here. I've had these for a long time. Wait till you guys see what I just unboxed, though. Gosh, I wish I could share photos with you guys right now in the live. Wait till you guys see. I'll share. You guys know I share, but anyway. I want it to look like all that old curled up, like rough edge, not perfectly straight, curly paper back here. Oh, she's not very chunky at all, honesty. In all honesty, once she's got rubber bands on her, she is very, very non-chunky. We need to add that, but I'm still uncertain on what I want to add down the spine. Okay, how are you guys doing? Does anybody have any questions before we wrap this thingy up tonight? Anybody have any questions on what to do with something? If you were trying to make something, if you didn't see me use something and you were waiting to see me use something, speak now and I will try my best to answer that. She keeps scooting up too. Yeah, I don't know where I want to position her. We could position her all off center too. She doesn't have to be smack dab in the center. I want to play with it. Can you tell? I would cover the spine before I rubber banded it. Leilani. Yes, in the beginning of this thing, I read off a list of names, including yours, and told you guys that all international people are the really only ones left to invoice. And I want to know, do you want your stuff shipped right now with this invoice? Do you want shipping? Do you want me to add the shipping fee and package it up and send it right now? That means only through Super Sale will go with it. It's okay. The tassel, I just kind of went over what I'm going to do. I don't think it's going to be like an hour at least for me to sit there and play with that. I don't think we have time. I kind of went over what my plan was with it just so that you guys would know. Yes, ship it. Okay, let me write that down on your, I have that somewhere right here. Let me write down that you asked for shipping. And I think Barbara, where's Barbara? Barb, I think you asked to ship also, Barb. Yes, ship. If you are still here, any other international person, Kathy, Catherine, or Kathy or Catherine? Burlap I talked about. Make a pocket. You can stick it down the spine if you want to. I don't want to stick mine down the spine. I don't enjoy the feel of burlap, but it is there in case you want to make pockets or put it anywhere else in your journal, or if you like burlap. Maybe you want to layer it burlap behind some kind of picture. Instead of using lace underneath things as a layer, you could use burlap underneath things as a layer. Hello, Denise. So Kathy or Catherine, I just need to know if you want to be shipped. If you watch this, let me know. Otherwise, I will reach out to you. I usually send you guys a picture of your box, so I'll still do that. But Leilani and Barb, I believe you guys told me to ship, so I'm shipping. The journal kits can only be purchased next Tuesday, and it's for the May kit. So it's different than this journal. It's the journal for the month of May, and only next week. And there's only a limited number of those available, and they generally sell very quickly. So you'll just need to be here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then at some point throughout that live sale, I will sell them. It will not be directly at 7, but at some point during that live sale. Your supplies are packed up. I know a lot of you guys are moving, and I'm going to switch this camera back around so I can at least look and answer questions all at the same time. There we go. Okay. There we are. Like my flat hair today. This is I have a headache hair. I don't want to do my own hair today. I know several of you guys are moving, and you can't really craft and all that kind of stuff. I get it. May kits, don't stress about whether they're there on the 1st, because they're probably not going to be. But don't stress about that, because you'll still have 4 classes. Every journal kit, we do it in 4 sessions. So no matter when you get your kit and when we start, you will have 4 sessions for that specific journal, and then we will move on to another journal. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. So if there are any questions, let me know now. If there's something that you guys want to use, just because I make the journal kit doesn't mean you can't use something else. Like if you're stuck on how do I use burlap, you can layer it, you can put it down the spine, you can make a pocket out of it. That's pretty much, treat burlap the same way you would any other fabric, and just do whatever you would do with fabric with it. Personally, burlap makes me itch. So the last thing I want to do is stick it down the spine. I thought about it. I did think about doing it, but in the end, if I have that reaction to it, I don't want somebody else to have that reaction to it. So I'm going to use a fabric or a lace down the spine. Moving. I know a lot of you guys are moving. Debbie, I was looking for you. Debbie, I don't have your information. Debbie LIP, I do not have your information. Can you please send me an email or tell me who you are or something? Because I went to invoice you on Thursday yesterday, and I cannot find who to invoice you. I cannot find your information to invoice you. So Debbie LIP, and it's the rest of your last name, but could you please send me an email with all of your information, your shipping address, everything? Again, please. Some of you guys are sending the information in Etsy messages, and Etsy is always different. You cannot send me any kind of correspondence in Etsy regarding live sales. Etsy communication is only for Etsy. So if you don't buy something on Etsy, you cannot message me on Etsy unless you have bought something on Etsy and you are messaging me about the thing you bought on Etsy. Some of you guys are going to Etsy and then you're messaging me and saying, hey, can you include this item that you're selling in Etsy with my super sale or with my live sale order? The answer is no, I cannot, because there's not a way to do that effectively. And Etsy is going to get mad if I'm selling stuff I have listed on there, but I'm not paying their fees and selling it to you guys directly. So that is why we have to not message on Etsy about things that are not being sold on Etsy. I'm not saying she did that, but some of you guys have. It's just Etsy, they have fees, and that's where they are there for. And if they think that you are trying to circumvent paying their fees, they will get upset. So we're just trying to keep that separate. And also they have shipping deadlines and handling times that are completely separate from this. And I've scheduled Etsy's handling times and shipping time frames around what we do here so that I can fit both in. That's why. So Debbie, okay. That makes sense to me. Let me fix that. Did I already invoice Debbie Berry then? Is that what happened? Is you've already been invoiced under Debbie Berry, or are you waiting to be invoiced? I will look it up. You don't have to tell me. But I was also looking for Amy Geisler. I think the Lori K situation we have figured out. I'm looking for Amy Geisler, Carrie Cameron, Tex Judy, Phyllis Johnson, Darla N, Pam McKinney or McKinson, and Jody H. Still looking for those people. And I need to write down Debbie Berry. Debbie Berry, is Berry, you can message me, but I need to know which last name is accurate. What is your shipping last name supposed to be? And you'll need to tell me whatever matches your payment method, basically, and your shipping address. That's what I need to know. You're waiting. That's why you're waiting, because I can't figure out who you are. But please just send it to me again, because I don't know if I have information for Debbie Berry either. So just please send it to me again, your full shipping address and everything. Here, my email address is in the description box below the video, but here it is also. So we're just wrapping that stuff up. Anybody else have questions? And Barb's good. Okay, it's other Barb. Anybody else with questions? Anybody else waiting for something? Thank you. I appreciate it. The blue thing is super blue right now. Super blue. Oh my gosh. It was fun making the journal, guys. I'm going to take this down just because it's like fluorescently blue. Anyway, super fun making the journal. I love the botanical journals. Out of the 3 of them, only 2 of them are available for sale. Same thing with the blue ones. Out of the 3 of them, only 2 of them are available for sale. I love making the 365 videos because it gets me in here and crafting every single day, or almost every single day. It's supposed to get me in here and crafting every single day. It's an excuse to get out like the tools that I don't ever use because they're in a drawer or they're in a cabinet or whatever. So next week will also be fun because I can get out the tools. And part of the reason of doing the tool videos for next week is to see and reevaluate, do I need to keep these tools? Are they just holding space and I'm never going to use them? Or are there some cool things for junk journals that we can make with these tools, because these tools are more for scrapbooking or card making or whatever? Can we use them for making things for junk journals? So that's kind of next week. Good night, Sarah. Good night, Sarah. Thanks so much for joining. There's people I try to binge watch too, but I end up falling asleep. Good night, Randy. Good night, Cece. Good night, everybody. It is fairly accurate, except for, and I said this earlier too, packages that have been paid for. I don't know what day we shipped last, but I did a whole big round of invoicing and we shipped the next day. Wednesday invoicing, Thursday invoicing was supposed to leave this morning, but I didn't schedule a pickup because I forgot. And you have to schedule it before midnight. So I didn't quit working until after midnight. And then by then it was too late. So all packages, no matter when you were invoiced, all packages that are paid for by tomorrow morning when I wake up will ship and leave here tomorrow. So tracking is accurate as long as your package is paid for, your order is paid for, and then it leaves. So just because you got a tracking number doesn't mean your package is going anywhere. It's held here until it's paid for, and then it leaves. If you are UPS, sometimes there's a delay for UPS, because UPS, I actually have to drive 30 minutes to the nearest UPS drop-off and drop off packages for UPS. We already did that once this week, so it will be next week before we take UPS again. Yeah. Tracking usually is, sometimes USPS and UPS, more USPS. Sometimes they don't scan it. So I have seen things where I was waiting for a package to get delivered and it'll track to, like, say it's coming from New York and it will track to Oklahoma, and then I won't see any tracking until it is literally here and delivered, which I think is just where they're not scanning it, or it's not getting automatically scanned as it moves through the system. So yes, there are times where tracking isn't accurate, but for the most part, I think it is. Perfect timing as your hubby was gone. That's funny. Well, something I don't have to worry about. 12 to 14 days to come to Canada. That would be a super fast USPS shipment from what I hear to go to Canada, Leilani. Usually they're waiting for quite a long time to go international. It just takes forever. I don't know why. It's nothing on my side that I can do other than pay for extra fast shipping, but that gets astronomically expensive. International is already like $100, and then not for everyone, obviously, but like for me to ship a flat rate box to Australia, it's like $100. For me to ship a flat rate box to the UK, it's like $100. Sometimes, even though it's priority mail, it still takes a month to get there, and that's ridiculous for priority mail. It's fine. I know. I know it's a joke. I just think it was cute. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm excited to start a new journal, and I'm excited to maybe sit down and try to finish up some of these projects this weekend. I also need to sort and pack and ship and invoice all of the Italian paper. The packing and shipping, there has been an update, and I will talk to you guys about that on Tuesday. I'll be here Tuesday. We are having a live sale Tuesday. The new journal kit will be sold on Tuesday. And I will have an update to how shipping works on Tuesday. So with this next sale on Tuesday, there is a change to invoicing, packing, and shipping. It is actually better for both of us, for you guys and for me. So we will kind of combine multiple sales into one package and one round of invoicing, which cuts out me having to do it so often, but it also saves you guys money on shipping, because instead of paying 10, 12, 15, whatever dollars per week, you're now paying it once every so often to get a bigger package. So better for everyone, hopefully. Always updates. All right, guys, I'm gonna go put some cold washcloth on my forehead, and I don't know what, but maybe take some Tylenol for this headache. I don't know. You can tell I have a headache because I don't know what it is, but it's right here. Right here. My face looks tired because it's right there. Anyway, do you guys like me squishing my face on camera? Oh my gosh. I will try to drink some things whenever I'm not talking. It's kind of hard to drink. It's not really sinuses. I mean, I know that's where sinuses are, but my nose is clear. Everything's fine that way. It's just a headache, guys. It's just, I woke up with it, and when I sleep one more time, it will go away. That's the way they work for me. So it's fine. It's just what it is. I'm going to share some pictures over the next few days in the Facebook group. I might share them on Instagram too. I'm not sure, but I will be sharing some pictures of the haul that I just unpacked, so you guys can salivate and think about playing with those with me, because there's things in there that I would like to stick in this new journal kit, which is part of the reason why I opened them last night. It's because I was like, I bet there's some things in there in quantity that we can play with. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play with a journal kit. All right, guys, I'm finally shutting up. Bye. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys back here on Tuesday. Oh my gosh, Linda, did you like that book that I put on the table and ripped that page out of? Because there's some of those, but very, very pretty ones. There's all kinds of things in there. There's a dozen or so more ledgers. There's legal documents. There's all kinds of just piles of paper to play with. There's fabricy things. I don't know what there is. There's so much stuff. It's crazy. It was, I think, 9 boxes of stuff. Big boxes. They had ledgers in them. They were big boxes. Oh my gosh, there's other things too. So much stuff. You guys will like it. Barometric pressure, solar flares. Who knows what causes those? The rag paper journals. Yep, they're very nice. Rag paper in general, very nice. All right, last time I'll say goodbye. Bye. Have a good weekend. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you again soon.